Entertainment news today is such a dragon gay. Everything sucks and it's no good that comes out of Hollywood. But there's one place you can go to get all your news and info, and maybe even have a laugh or two. You know it's true. Midnight's Edge after dark is life. We'll stand for nerds and geeks, we will survive. From Star Wars to Jurassic Park, it's Midnight's Edge after dark. All those bombs and flops, but need never stops. We will keep going through the night as we keep up the culture fight. Midnight's Edge after dark is life. We stand for nerds and geeks, we will survive. From Star Wars to Jurassic Park, it's Midnight's Edge after dark.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the best show on the interwebs. One of the few places you'll find Mexican Iron Man. How you doing, Mikey?
What's up, bitches?
How you been?
I'm so excited about the potential news. I'm sure we'll be talking about it, about Canada becoming the 51st state, because then Script will be able to travel freely and visit me.
Dude, you know how awesome that would be? We'd be the biggest state in the union. Like, Texas would just be considered our little, like, toe brother or something.
Yeah, now there's going to be some
true.
mentoring involved. I'm clearly going to have to take Script Doctor out to the gun range and teach him about America.
I've been to a gun range a few times before. I might impress you, actually.
Oh. Again, Script, I'll tell you what. You just stick with your mastery of Hollywood. Don't even play when it comes to rifles or pistols. Just stop.
Actually, I'm more of a pistol guy than I am a rifle guy.
Well, there's no way you're as much of a pistol guy as I am.
I definitely would defer to you, but I just say,
get it?
Yeah.
Get it? Because I got two pistols. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
Kind I shoot and the other kind I shoot. You know what? I'm funny, you guys. Someone should laugh at that. You know what? That was my opening salvo till I get the crowd warmed up. Okay. All right. Go to the next guy. Obviously.
Well, you already kind of introduced Script Doctor, kind of
Script
vicariously.
Doctor. To my left, you're right, is the great Script Doctor.
Hi, I'm back
How you been?
from my LA venture. I'm doing pretty well. Got some good things in the works, so I'm happy to be here. Celebrate, I guess, the last 2 weeks of 2024 with you, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
Pretty much, yeah. I think, yeah, because New Year's Eve is the Tuesday, 31st. So we got exactly 2 weeks till the end of the year.
God, 2025 better be better than 2024.
2024 was quite better than 2023, so I think we're going in a good direction.
I agree with
I hope
Script Doctor
so.
on that.
And we also have Price of Reason here. How you doing, Price?
Good. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just munching on some.
Tom's eating and he
pizza.
keeps commuting.
Not pizza.
Oh,
That
okay.
means it is pizza.
No, Tom wouldn't eat stuff like that anymore.
See, I would never eat stuff like
Well, I'm
that.
happy to see Mexican Iron Man here. He only arrives on special occasions.
I got home from
Or when
work
he's
early.
got nothing better to do. I was just going to say.
I literally got home from work early. Like, that's why I'm here. Like, I'm normally not. Like, normally you guys are already rolling an hour in. And then I'm just like, I'll just sit and listen.
I was once supposed to meet Mexican Iron Man in person, and then he disappeared.
I had fucking jury duty with like a guy who was like facing life imprisonment,
I don't know.
and I couldn't
Speaking
get out
of-
of it.
There surely was a way to get out of it.
Dude, I tried. Here's the thing: because I had already been out of it twice, and this was my third try, they were gonna hold me in contempt of court for the other, like, because I used COVID, which I did actually have COVID. Went and got the COVID excuse.
Kung
What was
flu.
the second one? The second one was tax season. I said it was going to cause me irreparable financial damage, which is
True.
well.
No, you have to say it's true. Don't say it's not
what
true.
I said, but
Somebody may watch this. It's true.
Oh
Everything.
yeah, it was true.
See, what you really need to do next time, Mikey, is go in with an electric shaver, and when they call on you, just start shaving your head in front of them, but don't do a good job. And then just be like, I think he's guilty. And then
No, you do that, but you also add in like, is the guy black? I really hope he's black.
Well, the guy, you face the juror, like it's really weird. I've done jury duty a lot of places, a lot of counties. This was weird. Like he's literally in the front and everybody's facing him and his
Well,
attorney.
yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
You're one of his peers.
Yeah, exactly.
Years.
But
And that,
no,
of course,
no,
is
no,
Nick
worry,
Weiser.
worry not, Price. We're still gonna get together and meet up in 2025, and your name will be added to the long list of people that have seen me and hung out with me that's not named Tom.
Wow.
That list grows every day. Nick's the only one on this panel that I've ever met in person.
That's true.
I gave
have
him a
hung-
Karate Kid, and we're going to talk about Karate Kid.
Dude,
tonight.
yes, you did. So yeah, a trailer came out today. I came on the show on time, and Sony and Spider-Man are in crazier shambles than I ever could have imagined. And we got a bad Santa lurking around too. It's gonna be a good night tonight. Let's have some
Yeah, you're
fun.
talking Bad Santa on Toxic Tuesday. Sadly, I didn't get it rewatched, and it's been a while, but
Oh man.
yeah.
It's so
At least Billy
wild.
Bob's got a decent show, unlike
Oh,
Kevin
yeah.
Costner's.
Kevin Costner's going through a rough patch right now.
Honestly, I'd say he's coming out of this looking a lot better than Taylor Sheridan at this point.
Well, I mean, Taylor Sheridan really did come ahead with regards to this because he didn't have to pay Kevin Costner for this latter half of season 5, and he used the film production to basically take down. He filmed the taking down of the Yellowstone Ranch, which is rented on his property. So he actually managed to like monetize the takedown part so that he could use it as footage.
Which is silly because like half of it's going to probably be reconstructed wherever so they can do the.
Oh no, they're out of the Montana states, and all that section of the land is gone. It's they're all in this.
Are they only doing one more season of 1923 or whatever it is?
They've already shot it. It's done.
That's it. They're not doing any more than that.
Nothing more.
Huh. Okay.
Everything else is in Texas with whatever Rip and Mary Sue Beth is doing.
Yeah,
and
she.
is.
Yeah. No, they fucked this whole thing up, and I don't even remember if I had a chance to talk to you since this whole thing. I'm like, I mean, look, I knew they were screwed and they're in a corner, but it's like this show is inspired by Dallas. Why don't you go with the whole Who Shot JR thing for the rest of the season? That at least would have made it somewhat fucking interesting.
I've explained this to you before that with Who Shot JR, they had a reverse issue. What they did with it is that they ended it with the season finale. The JR is pissing as many people as possible, pissing off as many people as possible.
Like Mr. Burns, yeah. That's
right. And at the end, he gets shot, and then it's the cliffhanger. Now, they actually had a dispute with Larry Hagman during that time. So for the season premiere, you didn't see Larry Hagman there because they were still negotiating his contract. So he's in bed with like bandages on a face, and it's a body double. But then by the second or third episode, they already resolved it, and he came back when they were filming. So the audience never even knew exactly what was going on. But what I'm trying to say is that at that point, they had laid the groundwork for a big mystery. Whereas with Kevin Costner, they never laid the groundwork for a mystery. It's like if they would have known that he would have been a douche, they would have at least set up something that has him killed. And then the final episodes are a big mystery around it. And it's not like something that they just kind of kill him with a body double or just say, oh, well, now we found him dead. I really didn't like what they did with it. And Taylor Sheridan is to blame here just as much as Costner is. They both suck and they both ruin this.
Well, and my issue is, like I said, they did kind of set some seeds up. Like there was enough stuff out there to where we all knew who did it, right? Like it wasn't like a big question. The problem was they told you up front who did it, instead of it being like, was it this, party? Was it this party? Was it this party? Because there was at least 3 or 4 parties that they could have attributed it to, right? Like that could have been blamed for it. And it could have went on for a few episodes until the very end. And then the climax was both satisfying and dissatisfying at the same time, because you already knew how this was going to play out. That was the problem. It was so telegraphed.
Yeah, we were waiting for it just to happen. And that goes to the fact that Taylor Sheridan, even though he's great with some dialogue, he does not know how to write a mystery, which is why he didn't do it as a mystery. And I think Landman is his better show, but it's got a lot of problems.
It does have a few, and I'm not going to say it doesn't. Tulsa King is my favorite show.
Tulsa King is the better one, yeah. But
that's just because that show has like 0 fucks to give. And we have African-American Scribe Light.
Wow. Now it's an all-star panel.
Hello, my friends.
Finally got our diversity ratio.
This is what Twitter's AI says I look like. I said draw a picture of Scribelight, who runs the Scribelight channel based on his avatar, and this is what came out.
Yeah, that's happened to me too, where I said,
"Oh, you've seen mine, right?"
Yeah.
I'm like some woke black kid.
Dude, I didn't see it. What?
Mine came out.
I can find it.
Mine came out badass when I did it on Twitter.
Mine came out as Superman.
I was gonna say my second one basically came out looking like Henry Cavill. My first one, I was like some black kid who's like college age. So yours at least looks like you kind of look like Omar Epps. No, never mind. Now that you're bigger, it's more like if like Mike Tyson and God, who am I seeing there? It's like if a couple of different guys had a baby.
A couple of different guys had a baby, yeah.
What's the matter with you? What guys? Why would?
Anyway,
well, I don't see any women in there.
Holy crap!
How you doing, Scribe? Welcome to the program.
Yeah, sorry for being late. I had dentist appointment.
We're just you wouldn't have been that far apart from where we're at.
Oh, okay, good. Well, yeah,
I would have just been introducing you here about 5 seconds before you got here. So,
all right. Well, good evening, everyone. Nice to see everybody here.
Yeah, here's the Pixar version of me, anyway. Which I'm like, that's probably the closest.
Good. Yeah.
That's legit.
Horrible.
You know what?
You could use that.
Looks like that guy in. Not to bring up about Bad Santa, but there's that guy earlier when Billy Bob Thorne's at the bar, and that guy was giving him the evil, like dirty look, and then he met Billy Bob in the parking lot. He's like, "I am not gay." That's what you look like, is that guy.
I can't find my black one. There's my Henry Cavill one.
Whoa.
Okay.
Where the hell is my black version of me?
A big black top.
He's not very big. That's the other thing. He's like scrawny.
Big black Tom.
So I'm like some semi quasi bi looking like black woke dude. Where the hell did it go? I don't know. It's on my Twitter. If you want to find it on my Twitter, go for it. I can't find it in my screenshots here. I could have swore I had it sitting here, but I'm going so far back now I can't find it. So
look, wait, I got one to share.
You got one?
I just did this one right now, just live.
Oh, you just did one? What does it say Mexican Iron Man looks like?
Oh, jeez.
Mexican Darth Vader is fucking sweet.
Where the hell? Don't get me wrong. It looks good, but where the hell did that come from?
That is pretty cool. It's like Mexican Darth Vader is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
like
bottom left is pretty cool.
Now I'm trying to imagine what mine would look like. I'm curious.
The one on the bottom left looks like something out of a Marvel movie.
Yes, like the Eternals 2.
Yes,
this is the competent one.
Yes, yeah.
And then
you've
got Pixar version on the top right, and then you've got like Shrek version on the bottom right. That's some pretty stereotypical Mexicans, like,
yeah. Well,
hold on. Why am I? I'm a black kid with an ugly sweater on. What?
You got an ugly sweater? I want an ugly sweater.
Let me. I'm gonna embiggen myself.
Yeah, go ahead and embiggen it and share it.
Dude, I don't get how this happened.
And this is like so last week. I don't even know why we're. Oh my god, that is funny.
That's great.
It totally looks like Nick if he was black.
It's a cool mustache.
Big 32. That's great.
That I could totally. That looks just like what Nick would probably look like if he was black.
And 2
Big
cups
ass
of cocoa.
smile and everything. Just. My question is though, since you're black now, instead of pizza, is it chicken that you like a lot? No, I'm sorry. I'm
Oh,
chicken wings. Chicken wings. Sorry,
Actually,
no.
I got a funny story about fried chicken. I went to a
Oh, shit.
I went to a trade school in Chirac, well, right outside Chirac, and it was actually it was dominantly black students. I was like, I guess you could say I was a minority, and I'd hang out with the guys at the class, and we'd go out and get fried chicken. And one of these guys was like, "Man, Nick, you eat more chicken than I do." Yeah, I was just like, I felt like that was like the ultimate honor. I was like, sweet, I eat more chicken than he does.
Is that like
So-
getting your first black card or something, or what?
Yeah, right. That's what I felt like. I was like, is that what that is? Is that what this is? Is this me get my certification when I've been told by them that I eat more chicken than they do? Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh shit. All right, kids. Well, that was racist. Jeremy Winfield sends in a member chat and says Sonic 3 is about to curb stomp Mufasa. I wouldn't be surprised. And I'm here for it. Chapek is on an island right now, laughing his ass off. Dang it, Bob. Dang it, Bob.
Uh-oh.
There's Black Nick. Looks just like him. Only black.
oh.
Blackwiser.
Black.
Woo,
Oh
man.
no, we're going to hell. Elijah Snow sends in a $1.99, says I volunteered to referee. Mike knows why. What did you do now, Mike?
No, he's saying he's going to referee the shooting competition between me and Script Doctor.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Oh, we're
that's
doing a
'cause-
competition now?
And that's because
News to you.
Elijah Snow runs a SWAT team and he knows how well I shoot.
Cool.
Well, Mike, when it comes to Mike, everything's a competition.
Hmm.
Have you not figured that out yet?
What? Like what? What are you talking
You
about?
make everything into some kind of competition.
What? Name.
The only thing you lose on every time is you're like, I'm not a YouTuber.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
You got that
That's
wrong.
the one competition I would never, ever in a billion years want to compete against trying to be a good YouTuber. Screw that shit.
All right. And then we've got Captain Fandom Nerd, who's been here for 38 months. Thank you for that, Captain. Jeremy Hembry's in the house. How you doing, Jeremy? Says, did you guys see the Superman movie posts and one more day until Superman movie trailer come out? Yeah. I think it means the poster.
Mhm.
So yeah, let's start there. Let's react to that real quick. Actually, that was some news from yesterday. I don't know who's all seen this yet, but we got a motion poster, I guess is what you would call it, from let's see if I can find it here. I was looking for my black self.
I had it the other day. What did I do with it?
I know I had
Oh,
it.
you had Tom's black self with you at the
I should
Air
just
Day?
replay
Yeah,
what-
I know.
What Script Doctor said.
Oh, here it is. Here's my mead, my black mead guy. That's why I couldn't
Wow.
find it. It's on my phone. That's why. Okay, that makes sense. No. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. So if anybody wants to say I'm racist, no. All right, so let's get back to the top of my profile
Oh, there
where
it
I
is.
got the Superman poster. Or did you get it?
Yeah, hold
At
on.
the
one
same
sec.
time I find it, but go ahead and
Yeah,
share it if you
okay.
got it.
Yeah, there you go. It's not the motion version, but
Oh, okay.
it's just flat.
I say I got a square one too, but I got the motion one here. All right, let's do the motion one because it's prettier.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
And I've been hearing so many people like been arguing, and there's been some shit back and forth about the music. Of course, the Snyder Bros are like, "Of course you gotta use it, John."
I think the biggest mistake is they're equating it to Hans Zimmer, but it's way more like Michael Giacchino. And if you take a look more of what he did with, say, Star Trek, even though I don't like that trilogy, he did do a Star Trek rendition where he slowed it down, just like this one has been done of the.
That's
John
one
Williams
thing I
stuff.
will say about that movie that actually is pretty badass is the music.
Yeah,
Like when you get to that end
Which
credits
movie?
theme, Star Trek 09, that end credits theme is fucking amazing balls because it manages to bring in the original theme and shit into it. It's really cool.
This one's a bit too, I don't know how to call it.
I don't like this specific
misty,
version of it,
whimsy.
but-
Yeah, it's a bit too soft. I mean, like I know I'm biased. The John Williams thing just had such like a punch to it, you know.
Perfect. The
You know what
original
this-
John Williams is just perfect. I don't know if you can get more perfect than that one.
Yeah.
well,
This is
they're-
like John Williams done by Sam Smith. And I was like, nah, I don't know.
Well, they are, as far as I know, they are still using that John Williams theme as Superman's theme. This is just
Okay.
one remix of it, kind of similar to how John Ottman, when he did Superman Returns, he did the Superman theme and then he remixed it a little with a couple other songs. He also redid the Smallville Jonathan Kent theme, which I think his rendition of it was fantastic. So we'll have to wait and see, because this is the guy. Oh, his name escaped me, but he's done the last 3 James Gunn projects. One Guardians of the
Marauder,
Galaxy, one
something
with
or
his
other,
Squad, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. He did.
Yeah,
so-
I got the last 2. I got the Christmas special and the other one. It's pretty good music.
Yeah.
His last name starts with an M. I'm trying to think of it now.
I think it's John Murphy, maybe.
Something like that. Yeah, it's something like that. And no, you know what this part of the theme is going to be for, guys? Because the trailer's coming out tomorrow. This is going to start out with, like, you're going to hear this music in the trailer. It's going to be like, you are here for a reason. I don't know what that reason is. And all that kind of shit. That's where that music's coming in the trailer. And then all of a sudden you're going to get a bum, 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 bum,
Most likely, hopefully, yeah.
bum, 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 bum. And you're going to see a bunch of shit coming at you. And it's just going to keep building and building until the final fucking crescendo is his new S is going to come in. I could see this in my brain already. And it's going to say Superman in the music. No words. just the shield and da 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 da, and that's it. Done. Nothing more. And I bet you it's not going to show us a whole hell of a lot.
If it shows us anything, it'll be from the first half of the film, because that's James Gunn's rule. No, nothing in the tail end goes into the trailer.
And that
Now, we're
speech
not gonna-
I just said is not even going to be in the movie. It's just for the trailer.
We're not getting an origin story, right? This is Gunna said this. You're starting in the middle.
Establishing himself in Metropolis.
I was just going to
Right.
say, I actually got a little breakdown from somebody who supposedly saw like.
Do we know who's
test
playing Jor-El at all, or
I don't think
not.
Jor-El's in it at
Jor-El's
all.
been casted in the movie.
not even a flashback or something? Okay.
Nope.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, the movie's supposed to start in the middle of action. It's not an origin story. Lois and Clark already know each other. It does not set up any other crap, I guess, according to the person I talked to. But they sounded pretty impressed with what they had seen, I guess. I don't know what all they saw, but or if it was secondhand information, it could have been too. But yeah. So what we'll find out in about 48
Thursday.
hours, kids.
Yeah, Thursday morning. We'll talk about it Thursday evening, Mead.
I said you.
Oh, no.
You know how how I fly? I smoke a joint. He's like a real life Beavis and Butthead all wrapped up into one.
Yeah.
Man, who should play Jor-El these days? If you had to stunt cast, who should play Jor-El?
Marlon Brando.
Honestly, he's the best. I mean, they just
Yeah,
brought him
really,
back for Superman
CGI.
Returns. I was just like, fuck it.
Yeah, just CGI Marlon Brando. That'd be fine.
It's like, we got hours and hours of Brando just rambling. Really?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they do actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure why I'm here. I'm just this black thing on my.
Oh, Billy Zane playing Marlon Brando.
That would be great.
That'd be pretty good.
So who
You know
has seen
what?
that
They should have
trailer
brought-
for that?
They should have
Oh, the
brought
the
Billy-
trailer for that is amazing. I was amazed. Billy Zane does an amazing like rendition of Brando in that thing. It's great.
I totally agree. They should have brought Billy Zane as Brando. I can't believe they didn't think of it.
They could
That'd be
also
great.
cast the guy who played Brando in The Offer. He was good.
That
Oh,
guy was
yeah.
actually pretty good too. Yeah, those two right now, and that's what I got to give Billy Zane, and I was impressed by. Is he's not doing an impression
No,
of Marlon Brando like I
No.
just was. He's
No.
actually doing that Brando's actual voice. You know, like not the whole like like I do. You know?
Yeah.
The Godfather voice. Yeah.
He's not making it. I mean, it is a comedy after a fashion, but his impersonation is an homage and not like trying to be a send up or anything.
It kind of reminded me of, because that guy who played Al Pacino in The Offer as well, I don't know if, the same show we were just talking about. At first, I didn't like him. But as the show went on, I'm like, okay, now I know why they picked this guy. Because I can see Pacino in him now. Before, I couldn't. In the first like episode or two, I'm just like, this guy ain't Pacino. Who the fuck is this guy? Like, you know, and I think I'm Pacino. You know, it's like, but I forget. It's like, yeah, he was a mousy little fucker back then. Yeah.
Josh Hammond says Nicolas Cage is Jor-El. That'd be a great.
That would have been amazing, actually.
That would have actually really good.
Here. He would have actually took it very seriously.
He would have. Yeah, no, he would have been right on with it. That'd be great.
Tom needs to do an impersonation of Nicolas Cage as Jor-El, giving him advice before his first date in Smallville. I should have sent a super chat for that.
Man, that's a tall order.
I hereby find this council guilty.
Great. Were you sentencing somebody off to the
treason? But then here's the best part: if you get John Travolta then to play Zod.
Oh, Face Off 2. Face Off 2.
Oh, we could have been good buddies. We could have been friends if you just listen to me, Jarrell. Okay, you know what I'm talking about? Like, this place is gonna blow. It's gonna blow up. It's gone. It's crazy. Oh my god. I'm gonna get you in your ass and I'm gonna fuck them up.
Oh damn.
Mikey gives me $5 for my impersonation. Thank you for that, Mikey.
Hey.
Kalekioki says, is it a trailer or a teaser? Trailer, two different things. That's true. This is supposed to just be a teaser, is my understanding.
My guess is it'll probably be, if I had to give an educated guess, probably somewhere between a minute 30 to 2 minutes of footage at most.
That's a trailer, though.
Doubt it. I think it's going to be a minute and a half teaser, most.
They have
minute 15.
Warner Brothers has spent a lot of money flying in some press people to their lot for this trailer.
Yeah, there's supposed to be something big thing going on tomorrow. Yeah, actually. And who else? I think Chris Cornham supposed to be there.
It already played this afternoon.
Robert Meyer Burnett. That's who it was. Yeah.
Wait, who's seen it when? What?
Not the movie, the trailer. They had a big press event. I guess it was today. I thought it was tomorrow, but I guess he might have meant today when he said tomorrow. When I saw the tweet, it was yesterday, but whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, Robert Meyer Burnett was there.
A buddy of mine is Instagram friends with Rachel Brosnahan, and I just found out about this while I was in town. And he texted me that this morning that they were, this afternoon, that they were already at the lot showing it to the press. So.
Wow.
So is that a sign that they are confident in this movie script?
Oh yeah. If Warner Brothers is spending money to fly in certain people from the press to see this thing, they're very happy with what they've got.
Well,
that's like a major deal. I remember in the olden times before the woke times when I had my office in Hollywood, those were like, we made good money just doing the accounting and the prep for those events. And they were always movies that did well or they thought would do well. Damn, that's huge.
Partially, I think the other part is that they got so much banked on it, man. I mean,
that's also true. Yeah. Is it confidence or is it just necessity or combination? Maybe.
I don't know where I'm at. Thinking. You know, I've been telling you guys, I'm not. I don't. In Gun We Trust is not me, and
there's no need to be, man. I mean,
I don't know,
this could still go off the rails, but hey, let's hope that it is. I'm gonna see it right away. I'm not gonna see it, and I'm saying I know I'm gonna see it. I mean, we're gonna talk about this.
Wow, Tom's trying to do a triggering event because I'm here. What is that on screen?
That is a bright and hopeful poster is better than one covered in shadow and darkness. One Superman is looking up and the other one is looking down, like he's better than.
So one looks like an emo album, and the other looks like the Rocky soundtrack.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, the Man of Steel looks like the Yellow Card, My Chemical Romance soundtrack, and the one on the right looks like the Eye of the Tiger. Makes sense. One for mom bears. The one for the ones who want to rise above it.
It's the right marketing.
On the Toxic Femme show last night, somebody said it, and it's so perfect on the motion when they're like, it looks like Superman threw up all over him. I can't remember how he worded it, but it was fucking hilarious. It's just like, yeah, it does look like that a little bit, but you know what? I don't care. No, it looks like they spilled like melted Superman ice cream or whatever all over him or something like that. But I don't remember how they put it, but it worked. It was a good joke. I fucked it up, but no, I like it. It's colorful, and that's what one thing that helps. And that's one thing that the other one was missing.
Yeah, it looks aspirational, not dour.
Yeah. For sure.
To put my English major
I like the
on it a little bit.
poster overall. I still hate that I see the collar, but at least we have a better look at the suit in terms of the color. Yeah, I like that. Now we're actually seeing the suit in proper color. So outside of the collar and the dumb scales, they at least got the color right and the Superman looking up, flying up pose right. So at least they got those things right. I hope James Gunn gets the aspect of Superman humor done right in this movie, not make it a off the wall funny movie, because that's not Superman.
I have no sentiments regarding this thing. I basically it means nothing to me. Like, I don't care even if the trailer looks like it's the best trailer ever. I'm not getting excited. I don't care at this point, and all of this means nothing to me. I'll watch the movie when it comes out. It better be really, really good. It better be the best Superman movie since Superman 1. And if James Gunn does some weird Suicide Squad thing with a bunch of goofy, weird humor and weird cameos and crap, then I don't know. Then I'm not going to give a shit about any of it.
One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong.
Nice. Fair enough.
Sorry. I had to do this.
Price is a purist. Price will not accept anything other than excellence.
Superman 1 is still the best Superman.
Of course.
It better be on that level.
Nothing's gonna be on that level. You're smoking drugs.
It would be really hard because, again, Dick Donner was the one that directed that with Tom Mankiewicz helping him make the script good, and he got kicked off as number 2 and wasn't part of 3 or 4. So it's going to be really hard to capture something that's going to measure up to that film. Like, those are some big boots to.
You know what? I'm okay if it'll be the number 2. Okay, it's lightning in a bottle. I understand. So it won't be as good as 1, but if it could at least be the best one since 1, then I'll be okay with James Gunn.
It's his ball to drop. I mean, I've enjoyed his Guardians film. I liked the Peacemaker series. I'm enjoying Creature Commandos for what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not seeing anything that gives me any doubts yet. Nothing yet. But again, when he does it, those doubts will definitely come through.
Indeed. So let's move on. Let's see. We got Action Com, who sends in 5 and says, "Would you use those AI photos for your dating profile pics?" Sure, why not?
If I ever needed a dating profile.
Oh.
I already use scripts.
Well, that explains all the weird DMs I've been getting.
That's right. Shadow Chaser sends in a super sticker. It is, let's see here, popcorn. Thank you for the popcorn. We appreciate it. Kalekioki's, we got that one already. We got this one already. And Jason Webster, who sends in 5 Australian, says, well, Billy Zane should give him an offer. They can't refuse to play Jor-El. That's right. I think he meant for me to read it. And I'll give him an offer they can't refuse. I'll play Jor-El. I'll be the best Jor-El ever. So we got, speaking of trailers, we got a trailer today, actually. I don't know if you guys got a chance to check this out yet.
Is it good?
Trailer for
let's
what?
Watch it. Let's watch it.
What are we watching?
A trailer.
Is it an Airstream? Oh, sorry.
Hang on.
That was a bad joke.
Is it that Karate Kid one?
It is. Unfortunately.
Our traditions are rooted in history. Kung Fu, karate, the tree grows strong.
You knew Mr. Miyagi?
I did not come looking for Sensei Miyagi. I came looking for you. In life, you have only one question. Is it worth fighting for it? Or not? Lee means to me what you meant to Sensei Miyagi.
I'm doing this for all of us. Whatever it takes. Two branches. One tree.
The music makes it sound like a psychological thriller or something. I just like.
Is this the part where I wake up?
Yeah. Yes.
Where's Hillary Swank? It's not. I want Hillary Swank back.
I will say that I thought it would look worse than it did. I didn't look at it and think it looked as bad as I thought it would be. I still don't quite know why they're making this movie, and I'm very, very ambivalent about it.
It looks like a streaming show.
It does. It looks stupid. And I'm sick of this crap. This is like the Will Smith crap. Why is it called Karate Kid when there's Kung Fu clearly is the base martial art throughout?
Right.
They're trying to just connect everything and make it a universe.
That is like driving by a place and seeing like, oh my God, I just went to the best Mexican sushi joint ever.
Oh, you're talking about those fusion places. Yeah.
Well, there's a place called Sushi Samba, and it does actually have Mexican sushi.
Okay, you know what I'm trying to say here, people?
I understand, but
You know,
that's
all right,
actually
do you go to a sushi restaurant for the great enchiladas? No.
Fish tacos.
Sushi Samba is a really good restaurant. I don't know if it still exists, but man,
You're killing him. You're killing him.
Sushi
Try to
Samba
make
is
it
Price,
really
that's not
good,
the
man.
point.
All right.
Don't take it so
here's another
literally,
example.
Price.
Would you go to a Japanese restaurant for Mexican fish tacos?
Uh-oh.
Oh, they closed the New York one? There's only one in Los Angeles and Vegas? I kind of felt like eating Sushi Samba, man.
Oh, no.
What is sushi samba? Are you making this shit up?
No, it's a real.
Clearly, he isn't.
What? This doesn't
No,
make
here,
sense.
let me send. I'll send you in the chat. This is
Wait,
real,
wait,
real
you
thing.
eating sushi, isn't that cannibalism?
Hold on, this is bullshit.
Tom, I just sent in the private
This is
chat.
the weirdest thing ever because this is like fusion food. This is like Mexican meets what is it, Japanese or
Can
Chinese?
you please click on the link that I
They
gave
put
you?
it up just to troll me. Oh, for fuck's sake! This is a real place.
Yes.
There's one in Las Vegas. There used to be in New York. I guess it closed, and now
Okay.
they're opening in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Uh-oh, now Mikey's got to go.
You know what? I don't know why they closed the New York one. It was
It
really
does
good.
look pretty fancy, Mike.
Yeah, it looks pricey.
It was, and that's why I wouldn't eat there a lot. I've only been there a few
Is
times.
this the kind of place that I would take a date to?
Yes.
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 No,
that-
wait! You don't draw me in. I'm upset about the trailer. Go back to the trailer.
No, you have to take a lady to Sushi Samba. She's gonna be really happy, and you're gonna look sophisticated too.
I'm Mexican. How sophisticated could I possibly look?
This is gonna put you over the top. This is it.
Wear a kimono when you go there. You'll be fine.
Yeah, and you'll be able to eat your tacos or enchiladas with chopsticks.
There you go. Imagine the manual dexterity required for that one.
Yeah, show them how good you are with your fingers.
Exactly.
Or my toes.
There you go. If you really want
Sure.
to knock your socks off.
Does she have a foot fetish? What?
I don't know. That just got weird.
I think this,
Just?
this movie is gonna suck, and it should be on Netflix.
Yeah,
This
where's
movie
Jaden
exists-
Smith?
This movie exists because Jada, and Will wanted a paycheck. That's why this movie exists.
That's right. Also, Cobra Kai, on the back of Cobra Kai. So,
well, and they got Cobra Kai made on the idea that if the Cobra Kai thing would be on TV, if they wanted to do another Jaden movie, they could. Well, Jaden ain't fucking acting. I doubt he's even going to have a cameo in this fucking thing.
No.
But Jada Pinkett Smith, her brother, and Will Smith, I guarantee you, are the executive producers listed on this motherfucker through his company, because they own part of the Karate Kid rights. I'm assuming it's a bit like Star Trek and Secret Hideout.
Yeah. They keep making money. But I don't care as long as they have nothing to do with it, really. I don't mind. But regardless,
creatively, I highly doubt it. Yeah.
Regardless of what their money is and what they make out of it, I just think that this whole idea was always ill-advised. But I will say that the trailer didn't look as bad as I thought, but it's still an ill-advised idea.
What in it, though, is new, other than we've got... look, and this is what bothers me about this, because Ralph Macchio has turned down I don't know how many sequels in the past until Cobra Kai came around, because to him, he wasn't going to do this unless it was worthwhile. This looks like a reboot, Quill. It's literally the same fucking story we've seen twice now.
Listen, he's not getting any younger.
Cobra Kai.
He's not getting any younger, and it could also be that Sony, they maybe did a special deal with him for like the final season of Cobra Kai. Maybe they offered him a really, really sweet deal that involves his salary there, along with another backstretch here. As much as he's a man of principle, he's not getting any younger. If somebody offered him millions of dollars to do it, maybe he said, you know what, one last ride, I'll do this stupid thing.
Yeah, he might be locked in a contract or something.
I think Daddy's used to these checks now. That's why.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah. For years, he was kind of like going the fan circuit and getting little roles here and there. Now
you're not
suddenly,
wrong.
Now he goes to like sporting events and the camera is on him and like the whole crowd like gets up and claps. That's like that's a different level now. He doesn't want to lose that. He's like I said, he's not 20.
This is his last payday. You're
right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you tell him now for the next 5 years he's going to make this, maybe another one of these if it does well, and he just goes to places, people say that he's the Karate Kid, he will take that. I don't think he cares at this point.
Okay, no, and besides which, Ralph Macchio. Hey, Ralph Macchio, you want to be in a Jackie Chan movie? Yes.
Right. Jackie Chan could also be a draw for him. Maybe for him, like, it becomes like a legitimacy. Jackie Chan, maybe they needed legitimacy from Macchio to be part of the Karate Kid franchise. At the same time, Ralph Macchio gets to be in a book like what you said now. It gets to be in a movie with Jackie Chan. Kind of adds a little bit of legitimacy to him as well.
I mean, if Cobra Kai hadn't existed, I might be a little more interested in this. I might see like a reason for this to exist and be like, all right, fine. They're trying to bring it back, to the original and be like, okay, so Jackie Chan's a decent, stand-in for a Miyagi type. Right, in that sense. But at this point, Ralph Macchio, as it's joked about in the series at some point, I believe, is older than what Mr. Miyagi was when he started teaching him in real life.
Well, he looks young.
Yeah, he definitely looks younger than Pat Morita.
Well, that's because Pat Morita looked like he was 50 when he was fucking 25.
Yeah. Now, where's Hilary Swank? The only way to unify these universes is to bring Hilary Swank.
Right. She was if she's not in this last portion of Cobra Kai, I will be very fucking surprised.
She was Miyagi's last pupil. She's got to show up.
She has to show up somewhere,
I think Script pointed out, or somebody else did in one conversation we have. They even brought back What's-Her-Face from part 3 and some other ones that are just like, what the...
Right. It's only a matter if she doesn't want to do it. It's only a matter if she doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, and I think she's already said in the press that she's more than happy to. And they keep dancing around it. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. As long as they're dancing around it, that means it's probably going to happen. Unless they absolutely say, no, it's not going to happen, or something is getting in the way, or she says no.
And they've never said no.
Exactly. And that's the only thing left. That's the one last little thing they have left to pull out of their little bag of tricks.
Well, remember,
I haven't watched those. I've watched those series. Did Elizabeth Shue come back?
Yes, they kept it so close to the chest. You didn't know until it actually they dropped.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like basically, these guys have managed to bring back every actor that's still acting in some regard that has been in those 3 films to this series. Like even
ones that
henchmen are back when they were teenagers and like Karate
yeah,
Kid 3.
Like the reason they even said that Snake's dead or whatever is because Snake is really dead.
Yep.
Like, I mean, yeah, they're very thorough. Like, there's hardly anybody left. Like, what do you got? Like, the guy who swept up the fucking mat
Walton
after the first movie.
Walton Goggins, Michael Ironside, and Hilary Swank are like the last three big.
And I don't think we're seeing Walton Goggins or Ironside.
Right. I
Hilary
don't think
Swank is a
Ironside and
good
Goggins are
possibility.
going to be here, but Hilary Swank, you may get a chance. Maybe. I would bring her if I were them, just to put that check mark.
Well, and the show's about redemption, and that's what I mean. Look at how people have gone back to 3, and I've had at least 3 or 4 people say, "Oh, you know, I was wrong about 3. I finally went back and watched it, and it's not as bad as I thought."
I mean, the thing is that when you see Terry Silver, like the over the top, acting and all that stuff, it kind of is funny, for whatever it's worth. I mean, it's funny.
It's of its era.
Yeah, it's definitely of its era. But what's not of its era is karate being kung fu or kung fu being karate. And I don't give a
This
shit
I can
about
agree with.
Sasha Taco place.
It's karate samba. Just get it right.
Karate Samba.
Karate Samba. That's good.
Mikey, you and I should meet in Vegas at Sushi Samba, and you should bring some ladies too.
I don't bring ladies. I don't
Price
bring
is
sand
trying to
the
use you to
beach.
get women.
I go to the beach and I find sand at the beach.
What is that?
Why is Culture Casino in this?
The hell is that?
This is
Actually-
Karate Kid Legends with me as the Karate Kid. You're Ralph Macchio, Mike.
I'm the guy in the. I'm not even that fat anymore.
It's true. You're not.
Who's on the top left?
That's culture.
Culture Casino for some reason.
What's
I think just-
the other 40 pounds of his facial hair?
I don't know, but Culture Casino, he never shows up for fucking the show anyway.
Well, if he doesn't. We
I gotta
find
give
the
him
cancel.
shit. Okay, yeah, that's the other thing. I'm just giving him shit because last week, the day we canceled, he comes into to the chat for the first time in I don't know how long, and he's like, I just clicked on it. It's 4:04. It's like, yeah, dumbass. I said I already canceled. Don't even act like you're trying to pretend to get on a show you never show up for in the first place. Just because you feel bad now. That just pissed me off more, Culture.
Oh, Culture.
The only
But I
reason
love it.
because he knew I wasn't making it. I was off site.
He's just being a shit. Jason Webster sends in 5 and says the kid will be taught to learn kung fu and karate, 2 branches, 1 tree. Yeah, that's what I was saying because I was listening to Geeks and Gamers earlier, and Beardo was like, "Oh, I'm so glad they don't give you the villain and all this stuff." And I'm not trying to call him out and be mean to him. Like, did you watch the same trailer? I'm like, you got the bullies. It telegraphs exactly what this is going to be. It's going to be Jackie Chan is teaching this kid, but these other kids are a little bit better than him, so he needs Miyagi karate. They knew Miyagi he knew Miyagi some point. Obviously, comes in, asks Ralph Macchio to come back with him to help train this kid. It's probably going to be set up at some point at the very, very end of the fucking show, which is going to piss us all off, probably. And it's probably going to feed into the whole Miyagi past story, which I guarantee you the next step after this is a Miyagi prequel story, which is what they were setting up in that flashback scene for those who have seen the show. I have that gut feeling that that's the guy that's going to play young Miyagi. And that so far, I'm like, all right, he kind of looks like him, whatever. The voice, though, I hope they just actually let the guy use his actual voice, unless that is his actual voice. But I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of telegraphed in the trailer. Jason Webster says Mr. H loved the Karate Kid's Legends trailer. Well, that speaks to his fucking tastes. He also liked Alien as well, so whatever. Lost for Words says James Lasseter, producer, Will Smith, talent agent. James Lasseter is a producer? Yeah. That's his talent agent. Yep. That's how this all works.
They did a big casting call last year for the kid role. So he's
that was
like
a big bunch of horse shit. I remember talking about that with Script where they're like, we're doing an open casting call.
No, they're not.
Yeah. And they quietly said, for an Asian kid. And then when they say that, it's like Script said, it's like, they already know who they're going to hire probably. They're just doing this as a big show and for headlines, basically.
Oh, exactly. I mean, they do this all the time. Anytime you hear about a worldwide casting search, it basically means that they found the person they want. They just want to make it look like they actually didn't just predetermine the role because they're an unknown. So it's just an old ploy. They never actually really do a big casting call on that. It's too much time and resources to do it.
I'm trying to think of an actual time because this is the other one. Because I remember they did even George Lucas was guilty of that for episode 1. I remember we did this big open casting call, and they ended like the 2 or 3 kids that were the finalists were kids who'd been acting already for a few years. It's like Jake Lloyd was already in Jingle All the Fucking Way by the time Star Wars came out, and he had been in a couple other things too. So it's like, yeah, these kids are already in acting. Don't even pretend that you're going out and just finding some random kid off the street, like in some movie where you find some orphan kid and turn him into a movie star. Don't give us that fucking bullshit.
Johnny Depp.
If Hollywood's taking orphans, it sure as hell ain't to make them movie stars.
Yup.
I know that's a dark fucking joke, but it's true.
Jeez. Yeesh. That's the edge part of Midnight's Edge After Dark.
It is. It's the edgy part. Yeah, I don't know. This is one of the least of the films I'm looking forward to this next year. I mean, this
I was kind of hopeful, like going into the trailer, like, oh, hey, maybe this could be good. And I watched the trailer, and I don't even hate it, but I agree with you with the whole kung fu karate style. It's just now that I've watched the trailer, it's just like great. They just want to have the 2 universe movies fused together.
Which is sad because
didn't need to happen.
The script was here when we ran the story early on in the show. The creators of the show were brilliant in the idea they had.
Yeah.
They said, we told Jada and Will and James and Jada's brother, because those are the 4 or 5 people that are involved with this whole thing, that, if they want to do a movie with Jaden down the road with Jackie Chan, they can. This movie doesn't affect that. This is a show. Those are movies. And they said in an early interview, as far as we're concerned, the Jackie Chan movie is a movie. So in the universe of the Karate Kid, that's a movie. So like Script and I were joking about how it'd be funny at some point if you just have this little side joke in a scene where the kids are watching the Jackie Chan Karate Kid on screen, and one of the kids goes, "Hey, Dad, this is a lot like your life."
Yeah.
And then he'd just say something, "Oh yeah, Mr. Miyagi was much harder on me than that," or something like, just some little joke, side joke to kind of let the audience know, yeah, hey, this is a movie. This is the actual world. But I think that they took kind of offense to that idea, and this is them cashing in, right? I mean, I think part of this was initially announced to light a fire under Netflix's ass to say, if you're not going to finish off Cobra Kai, we're going to do something. Because nobody knew what the fuck this was when it was first announced. For those who remember, Ralph Macchio didn't have a fucking clue. The Cobra Kai people didn't have a fucking clue. Nobody had an idea what the fuck this thing was. They just, all of a sudden, there's a Karate Kid movie that just shows up on the release calendar right in the middle of, are you going to renew Cobra Kai or are you not going to renew Cobra Kai? Because for people who don't know this, Netflix doesn't own Cobra Kai. Sony does. It's just basically licensed to Netflix. And it was originally a YouTube Red show, which was produced by Sony and Overbrook Entertainment, which is Will Smith, Jada Pinkett's production company. So that's where it originated from. So these people were like, we're going to do something, whether it's with you or without you, I think was their warning. And as soon as they got the show off the ground, well, then they saw that as an opportunity to put Jackie Chan into this universe, or that was always the fucking plan. Like they were just waiting for the show to end. That, I think that's the point, was they were waiting for the show to the end so then they could combine these 2 universes so they could make the other Karate Kid worth a shit.
Oh yeah, because they still make some money off of those previous, 2 previous Karate Kid entries with Jackie Chan prior to this one? I'm not
No, there's only one, but they did almost get, but I think they did technically, and that's another reason why I think this movie might exist scripted. I'm glad you brought that up. They came within, I think, a week of production, not pre-production, but actual filming, shooting, production of Karate Kid 2 with Jaden and Jackie Chan, and it shut down production. I don't know the exact reason, because the first remake didn't actually lose money, kids, believe it or not.
No,
it was one of the more successful of those fucking remakes we got in that era. And they were full bore steam ahead on a sequel. And the sequel was going to be about Jackie Chan gets killed by the Yakuza, and Jaden has to go after the Yakuza. So it was going to be this big fucking action set piece for Jaden. You know what probably happened? I wonder if that was around the same time as After Earth script.
I think it was.
That's probably what killed it.
Yeah.
Because if you guys remember, After Earth, that was what was it, M. Night Shyamalan or whatever made it?
I don't know. That was a stinker, that movie.
Yeah, that was his biggest bomb ever. Will Smith's biggest bomb ever.
That movie sucked, and I was super excited to watch it when it came out.
So either way, whatever killed that Karate Kid sequel, it was dead in the water for a while. And then these guys came and they kept bugging them to make this show, because if you go listen to their interviews or read their interviews, I think they tried getting the show made for what, Script, like 5 years? And then they waited till after
5 years or so, yeah.
Yeah, and then they waited till after Force Awakens, and they tried again, because at that point, that's when the reboot thing was happening.
Yes. So there was a big running meme that was going on when they started developing the show, and it featured with William Zabka making a guest appearance on the show. How I Met Your Mother was like one of the bigger hits on the network, and it was all talking about how he was the Karate Kid and basically just doing the same thing that a lot of other,
if Daniel was the bully thing,
like, Johnny Lawrence is not the bad guy in that movie, like that type of take. And that's when these guys were pitching it around, and they were able to get a lot of resources and a lot of headway, except they couldn't get the rights and they couldn't get Ralph Macchio. That was it. Those are the two hangups. And then once I think they got Ralph Macchio, they were able to get everything else.
Yeah, and I mean, the show could have worked with just Johnny Lawrence on its own. I'm not going to say it wouldn't. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we'll have to see how this finishes up. It's starting to lose some steam here. But speaking of movies coming out, I posted this the other day, and it has not been getting a good response. There is not a lot of stuff that people are looking forward to next year. So this is the calendar as of now, unless something changes for major releases. Now, of course, there's going to be plenty more movies than this coming out.
Yes. These are your tentpole films.
These are the tentpole films, yes.
So... Wait, wasn't Fantastic Four originally supposed to be the same weekend as Superman, July 11th?
It is, but I think it was close to it, one of the two, and then I still think it's going to get moved.
I think it's going to get moved too. I think it's going to get moved before the end of the new year, because depending on that trailer performance, that's going to.
Yeah, I was thinking it'll probably be
rattle marble.
They got a spot at Christmas that opened up from The Mandalorian.
Okay, guys, moved. I gotta bring attention to the #1 movie that I see on this list that is going to blow out everything.
The Accountant 2?
How the hell did you know I was going to say that?
Because you're an accountant.
It looks like it was already shifted. I mean, granted,
pretty good.
I just checked, what's it called? IMDb. It looks like it's already shifted to the 25th.
Of Christmas? Or just July?
July.
That might have been the original date. I just knew it came out close to Superman.
It was. I thought it was originally the same day.
I thought it was the same day too.
I thought they were originally scheduled to be the same day. Yeah,
but I still think they have a spot.
So.
They still have a spot in December. Or no, that's right. Avatar's in December. What was I thinking? Because wasn't Mandalorian and Grogu supposed to be out in December as well?
Yes. If memory served, that was supposed to be the Christmas Day weekend, so that was supposed to be a Christmas Day, the Thursday, the 25th.
But now they got Avatar here, so I don't know.
But that's the week before.
Well, December 19th is basically Christmas weekend.
Are you ready for Avatar to make $2 billion and then no one will talk
You
about it
there.
come March, 3 months after it comes out? No one will talk about it ever again after it makes $2 billion.
Yeah, there's also the dumbest part here. They got Saw 11 in September and Tron in October. Like, you got to flip those.
Yeah,
Saw always comes out in October and always does huge then.
Can we talk about this
out in September? Is so it can go on streaming by October. Script.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta say, I'm actually looking forward to Nobody too. We didn't need it necessarily, but with how much fun that first movie was, I am absolutely up for a sequel for that.
Well, and Scribe, I know you want to say something, but real quick to Script's point. I think Lionsgate is one of the few companies that actually is making money on video on demand. So I think that's their point here. Is they're putting this out at the very tail end of September. So this movie is on video on demand before the week before fucking Halloween. And still in theaters at the same time.
Yeah, they could do that. Sure.
And I think they're taking advantage of that. That's just my hunch there. But otherwise, yeah, that's why they're releasing it a little earlier than normal. Because you also got a Conjuring coming out right before that on top of it. That's going to kick anything in October.
And then what is that? I know what you did last summer. No,
who gives a fuck about that thing? Did you see like how Sarah Michelle Gellar was giving some fucking shade on that shit? Her and fucking what's her face evidently do not get along at all. It looks like
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, yeah.
So just
Bendy? I mean,
There was
Real
she was
quick.
on the carpet and she was asked about it and she's like she just completely shut the whole fucking thing down and she said something about Jennifer Love Hewitt and moved on and I can't remember what exactly she said, but it was like, yeah, it was not good. Because they asked if she was going to be in the reboot. Sorry, go ahead, Scry.
I just want to ask real quick. So can we talk briefly about Alto Knights? I mean, I'm looking at this
is
and I'm
that?
like, so Robert De Niro playing a dual role of Vito Genovese and Frank Costello in a biographical mafia film written by Nicholas Pileggi, directed by Barry Levinson. Like, what? I mean, this is the
That
guy that
sounds
wrote
like
Casino
something.
and Goodfellas. Like, wait a second. Why haven't I heard of this thing
I
before?
wish I
Holy
cared
shit.
more about Robert De Niro anymore. But
Well, yeah, no, Robert De Niro was like seen his day and everything, but still, Levinson and Nicholas Pileggi. Damn.
Oh, did you hear
That's
what
not
else De Niro's doing for probably next year? I'm sure it'll be out by
Oh,
Fockers 4.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, screw that. That's gonna flop.
No.
That
really
is
don't feel like
gonna
watching
bomb
that.
huge. Seriously.
That smells like Robert De Niro realized he done fucked his career up. When you're doing Fockers 4, and that
Well, he's done a
is
whole
why-
bunch of garbage. He did like Bad Grandpa and all other stuff. He's done
Well,
some
this is-
shit movies.
It was Ben Stiller who come out and said that the movie was happening, not even him. And this is why I think Ben Stiller was saying you can't make comedies now, because he was probably having a hard time getting this movie through. But yeah, he finally got it through. It sounds like it's going to happen. And my guess is it's not going to take him long to make. It's just a comedy. So I bet you it'll be out either this next year or the beginning of 26.
well, speaking of
sounded like he already
comedy,
had
the
it
only one
planned.
on there is supposedly The Naked Gun with Liam Neeson, which is
That is not going to be funny. The comedy's on them, I think. Unless you know something about this script that we don't.
I've
Well,
been
the
trying
Smurfs
to
are
find
comedy.
it, and it's not been easy.
Oh, that's who's in Smurfs.
The
It's a
Smurfs.
remake-ish, kind of like new version of it.
Remake-ish.
Yeah, Liam Neeson supposedly plays the son or nephew of Frank Drebin,
Yeah. I think
Okay.
it's a son.
who happens to have the same name.
Did
Oh,
they ever
sure.
do that in
Russell's
one
in
of these
it?
remakes? Trying to think.
Well, there was an attempt for Naked Gun
Russell's in
4.
it.
No,
or
I know what I'm
34.
thinking. I'm Dragnet, because wasn't Dan Aykroyd supposed to be like a descendant of
Dan Aykroyd
Friday?
was the nephew of Friday.
That's right, yep.
Right. Yeah.
And then of course
Yeah, nephew
Shaft
for
is his
Friday.
son, but yeah.
Right.
Both sons.
Well, Shaft is 3 generations. Exactly.
Yeah, 3 that's what I mean, 2 sons, yeah. A son and a grandson, yeah. Which, if you have not seen that 4th fucking Shaft movie, do yourself a goddamned favor. Have you seen it yet, Mike? You need to see that new Shaft movie. It was
pretty
fucking good.
Really?
Oh yeah. It
Best
makes
one
fun
since the
of
first
woke.
one, yes.
It makes fun of woke before woke really kind of was like properly identified.
I just assume it would be woke, and that's why I didn't watch it.
Nope. It's
And it's one of those few times where they change the what do you call it? The legacy of who the characters are, and it makes fucking sense.
yeah.
Because if you remember in Shaft, the one with Samuel Jackson, it was kind of the beginning of these rebootquels, right? Because like that's what I was just saying. Is like, yeah, they had him come in and he was the nephew, but then you find out in this one, oh no, he wasn't really the nephew. He was his son the whole time. And of course, Shaft would be the kind of guy who'd be like, "Don't call me daddy, I'm your uncle," or something like that. You know what I mean?
To protect you.
Not just for protection, but just for his own image.
No, but like FLJ does deliver a great line about how he was a better father as an uncle than he was a father.
Yeah. No, that movie works because I didn't care for the Samuel Jackson one, because rewatching that, I was reminded, like, that's the movie where when everybody thinks of Shaft being all about black power and fuck the white man and all that, no, that was none of the original films, really.
No.
The first film's a pretty straightforward detective drama action film. Has very little to nothing to do with him being black. In fact, I think it only comes up once in the entire movie, if I remember right. And then it isn't until I think when Shaft goes to Africa is by the time they start getting into the more, about him being black and all that kind of stuff. But then when you get to the Samuel Jackson one, it's all about him being black. It's all about him being a black cop. It's all about how the white man's out to get the black man and all that. Like, the whole plot's built on it. I mean, it's not a horrible movie, but it's like, okay, yeah. But that movie felt like woke before woke even existed. And then this movie was like anti-woke just as woke was coming in. So, yeah, check out Shaft 4. And that just shows how bad these movies are. We're talking about a movie from 5 fucking years ago.
That's right.
And I mean, the Jurassic movies, they're just going to keep pumping those out. I mean, like, they're just going to keep doing trilogies. That's what I can see now already.
But they've got, we got Megan 2.0, so that might do okay. That's coming out in summer, so you know that they're confident behind it, because the first one was like, what, January or February?
The first look came out the other day, and it looked all right.
Yeah, the first one came out right in January. Yeah, I was in California. I saw it with Paulie and the crew. And the
Yeah, it was a surprise hit, yeah.
With Chris Gore and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got that F1 movie with Brad Pitt. That's that racing movie, right?
Which looks okay, yeah.
You guys are not talking about Accountant 2.
Well, they haven't dropped any real information on it yet.
Well, all you need to know is that it's coming out and it's going to be amazing.
I have a confession to make, Mike.
And
I've never seen Accountant 1.
I never seen Accountant 1 either. I never seen it either.
I've seen it. It's all right.
That's Ben Affleck, right?
Who said that it was just all right? Who was it? Who said that?
Price did, of course. At least he liked it. Price saying, well, that was all right. It's like somebody saying, this is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a serviceable enough kind of action movie. It was all right. I wouldn't say that it's the best I've seen of the genre, but
First of all, that movie is my spirit animal, Price.
I didn't
That's what I
suffer
love
while
about
watching it.
When people are like, Tom, you hate everything. It's like, have you met Price of Reason?
Damn.
He finds ways to hate shit he loves, even more than I do. There's only one
Lord.
time where I hated something you liked it. What was it, Beetlejuice? I think you actually were like, it wasn't that bad. And I'm like, oh, are you fucking kidding me?
Wait, the first one, the second one?
No. The second one I think it was. What movie was it that you didn't mind so much, but I hated? I can't remember now. Was it Beetlejuice, or was it something else?
I think in Beetlejuice we both thought it was.
Okay, so it wasn't that one then. It was something else then. Okay.
The original Beetlejuice sucked.
No, the original Beetlejuice is a
Oh my
classic.
God.
They should have never
Fantastic.
touched it.
Yeah. The sequel, that...
Yeah, that one sucked too.
Yeah.
Finally got around to watching it.
Yeah, I like how
think
Tim Burton.
maybe I said that it was passable but not great, and you said you hated it. Maybe
No,
that's
there was
the
something
discrepancy.
else. There was something else you and I totally were on complete opposites on. I can't remember what it was, but that was one of the few times. And somebody in the chat might remember. Six was here.
Tom,
she probably remember.
Tom's hunting to resurrect a fight is all he's doing.
No. This is just there's nothing coming out. Not a fucking thing.
I want to see Nobody too. That I actually want to see that.
Where the
and
fuck is Spinal Tap 2?
What about 20 years later?
Hold on, is that actually gonna come out, or is that
They filmed it, as far as I know. It's
They
done.
filmed it?
Yeah.
Supposed to have been
I guess
done.
it's not considered like a big, because if you look at this, is all big budget, established IPs. Obviously, you can maybe make.
Yeah,
an
it's
argument
probably
that
not on there because of
I
that.
know
You're
what
right.
you did, and Megan probably aren't big budget, but obviously they do have their fans. Which I still haven't seen Megan. I know.
I was half joking.
Oh my
A lot
God!
of
Why am I
people-
on
Oh.
the stream with you, Nick? What do you mean you haven't seen that?
You need to
either?
see Megan. Megan's pretty
I
good.
mean, well, it seems like a lot of my horror friends seem to like it. So
It was all right.
I went into it with low
Okay.
expectations, and the reason I liked it is because if you've seen the Child's Play remake,
Mhm.
it's not that bad. And the reason I say that is because it could have been a better original film, and they basically took all the original elements that were in that Child's Play movie and applied them to Megan. And
It
that's why
almost
I think
sounds
Megan
like-
worked.
Is that almost compared to how the Evil Dead remake was not a bad movie, but it's just not Evil Dead?
Not exactly, because
Okay.
and that's maybe just because I didn't care for the Evil Dead remake. Because to me, the Evil Dead remake is like, okay, that's a movie, but it's not an Evil Dead movie. It
I
has the same
agree.
problem that Evil Dead Rise has, and that is there's no fucking humor in it. Evil
Yeah.
Dead has humor in it.
Outside of Evil one, which one is probably the only one that doesn't, because 2 is when it was really starting.
Even
to get
part 1 has some moments in it that are
small moments, sure, but it was like 90, maybe
Mhm.
95, 97% serious movie.
no, but when
The-
people think about the Evil Dead, they think about Evil Dead 2 kind
Oh,
of
of course.
tone.
No,
The,
you're
the
right.
last the last Evil Dead movie was Drag Me to Hell.
I've heard people say that was more of an Evil Dead movie.
I feel
That
like
was
we're not
way more.
I feel like we're not talking enough about the accountant.
We're not. And
What would you like?
we're
What would you like
getting
to say about the accountant? What would you like to
it's
say about
funny
the
because
accountant?
we're getting another Evil Dead movie as well. I don't know if you guys saw that, but yeah.
What?
Mikey,
Yeah.
what's your favorite part of the accountant?
All of it.
When he does
No,
the
no.
accounting.
Yeah, no, which part in particular? Give us something specific.
When the two kids are fighting and the dad's watching them and they're young kids fighting underneath the martial arts master in the backyard, getting ready for the fight of their lives that they'll later have decades later when they become grown men.
Ah, foreshadowing. I know what that is.
So it's
I took a
basically
class.
like Wolverine.
Oh, between
We
this
said
and
they're
Japanese
brothers.
sushi Mexican shit from.
Accountant origins.
All right, let's try to make a deal, Mikey. That comes out April 25th.
Yes.
Let's try to make a deal that I try to get out to see you by that weekend, and I see Accountant 1, and we go see Accountant 2 together.
Yay!
Oh,
Let's try to do something.
By the
like
way,
that.
Mikey, it annoyed me that he gave her that fancy painting, and he didn't even make a move on her. He was just kind of talking. I don't know what.
He's fucking autistic. What moves does he have to make?
What when he's
That's
he
not
had to
what
use that
autistic people
gun. He was
do.
using that rifle the whole time. Maybe even
no.
he's got autism, not Parkinson's disease.
I was just gonna say that's Parkinson's, not autism. What the fuck?
Whatever. Same shit. That's why I keep getting banned on Twitter.
That's true. And yeah, there's a Return of the Living Dead remake or sequel or something coming out next year that just got dropped out of nowhere. The trailer for. Or,
Oh,
he was a
why?
very functional autistic person too. Like he functioned like a regular person, but just I don't know. They said he was autistic.
Yeah, my kid's
but-
a lot like that. I mean, he has his moments, but like if you didn't know, you probably wouldn't know until you start hanging out with him for a while. Yeah.
I see.
I'm gonna make
But,
Price watch it. You know what? You know what would be the winner move? The winner move is like I reschedule with Price so he comes visit me. I make him sit in my living room. I duct tape his mouth, and then I make him watch Accountant while he's tied to the sofa.
I already saw Accountant though.
He did, but I didn't.
Well,
I
both-
saw it. I'm the only one here that saw it except for you, and I said it wasn't bad. I mean, I thought it was all right.
It was
Kind of had some
It's
issues.
okay.
It wasn't the worst movie
It's
I've seen.
okay.
We don't have to do
Stop
nothing.
talking. You're bringing me down. You gotta love
Hey.
it.
Okay.
Does anybody care about Tron Ares at all?
No.
Does it have Jeff Bridges? Does it have Jeff Bridges in it?
Yes.
It's got Jared Leto in it, which makes even more.
Oh, that's
Oh,
like
God.
that
Jeff
cancels out
Bridges
Jeff
is supposed to be in it. Yeah.
What happened to Garrett Hedlund? He ended up in what's his face in Tulsa King instead of in Tron.
Well, he might be in Tron because he cut his hair to be his old Tron character for the second season of Tulsa King.
Ah,
Mm.
that's very.
Who's that?
I was wondering why he suddenly had that haircut. You know what? If they actually bring Jeff Bridges and that character back, I'll think a little more
What character?
positively.
Sam
Oh, the
Flynn.
one from part 2. Oh, that's him. That's right. That is that guy from Tulsa King. I
Mhm.
didn't even put 2 and 2 together. You're
Yeah,
right.
because in the first season he's got long scraggly hair, so
Yeah,
it
yeah,
hides
yeah.
him a lot
Right.
more. But then in this season he's
Mhm.
got like the teenager haircut, and you're like, wait a minute.
Script. You said something
Yeah.
really interesting here. I actually think you may be onto something.
Yeah, if
Well, I
you want
wouldn't
better
be surprised.
Tron,
He's always on to something.
I
if you
wouldn't
want
be
better
surprised-
Tron, watch the Uprising. Watch the animated series Uprising. It's actually pretty decent overall.
Yeah, it's a Batman Beyond take on Tron.
Exactly.
I mean, I was just gonna say I don't know how much they're gonna reuse or use of the because they had already planned a lot of this stuff out. It was just the series was supposed to be a bridge to the third film that never happened. So I don't know how much of this they're gonna pick up on it or not because there was
Yeah.
2 different versions of that movie. And I think Script knows about this. There was a more traditional third film that was gonna finish up the story, and then they ordered us a cheaper film where most of the movie took place on Earth instead of in the machine.
Yeah,
You might even
I've
talk
read
to me
this-
about this before.
I
yeah.
read the script of the one that takes place, outside of the grid, and Olivia Wilde's character is being hunted because her code, as it's transmuted into human form, pretty much makes her like a god. Like not with superpowers, but, like she
Oh.
just can't die of anything, and her immune system could be replicated for our humanity, so disease would be wiped out. And one evil corporation wanted to take control of it, and then Sam
What?
Flynn was trying to keep her alive and not be a science experiment, etc.
So she's basically E ET.
Yeah, there was some ET elements I could say in that. I've been
Okay.
trying to refine the script, but I think I ended up losing it on like my old PC.
Hmm.
But
I wonder
It's
if
in the
you ever
grid
sent
then.
it to me. Yeah, it's stuck in the grid somewhere. We got in and we took the script. We made sure nobody ever made that movie.
Yes, that's the one that they're not making, correct? Or they haven't?
Yeah,
correct,
no.
they're not making
Okay.
that one. I hope they don't
Yeah.
make any elements from that one because it would be.
Well, that's
No,
what I'm
that
saying. I
sounds-
wonder how
yeah.
much they're going to be picking up from the other stuff, or how much it's going to be its own thing, or what. Because for a while there, even like, what's their face? that did the music for the second one.
Daft
They
Punk.
were supposed to produce it through their production company. They were going to produce a third film, and that never happened.
Yeah, well, that was the best thing of that movie was the soundtrack overall.
Mm-hmm.
I like the movie
hate the
okay.
movie,
I don't hate it, but it wasn't anything to write home about for me. But the soundtrack is like I could listen to that just in the background.
Not a patch on the first film, though. Unfortunately, yeah.
No,
I kind of liked Tron Legacy. I know it's not great, but I thought it was all right.
Well, no, it's like to me, like Tron 1 is like a 9 or a 10 out of 10. Tron Legacy.
Well, it was
like a 7 or 8.
groundbreaking. Tron 1 was like groundbreaking. But you know what? Tron Legacy, you know, people laugh at it, but they tried to do the de-aging or whatever. They were one of the first ones to try to do something like that. And at the time, I kind of liked that ambitious idea. And some of the, like you said, the music was cool. Some of the visuals were pretty cool. It somehow in the screenplay, it probably lacked something to make it really great. But I don't know. I sat there between the atmosphere, the music, you know, just Jeff Bridges, the whole, you know, the general idea. I kind of liked it.
I'll tell you this much. Pretty much any praise that Mad Max Fury Road or Blade Runner 2049 got was praise that Tron deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I like Tron better than Fury Road. No question about it.
That's
Tron
my
Legacy.
point. Yeah.
Tron Legacy, I would watch that over Fury Road any day of the week. Any day of the week.
That's my
Fury
point.
Road
That movie got it right.
Fury Road is one of the biggest shams ever.
It was kind of like the best you were going to be able to do under the circumstances, and especially considering how much shit has changed since the original film, and it made the original film still work.
It was like one of the biggest heists ever, Fury Road.
I'm talking about Tron, I mean, but yeah. No, Fury Road's a
Tron
fucking
Legacy
disaster.
I thought was
Yeah.
fine. I thought it was fine.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Scribe.
Oh, I was going to say Legacy did not try to rewrite or shit all over its original. It was an actual continuation, and in that way, it didn't try to overwrite or make the it didn't pull a Luke Skywalker on Flynn or anything.
No, not at all. I thought that it was actually there was an interesting idea of how they revisited it and what they tried to do with it, and him, reuniting with his son. I like the general idea.
I even saw a little bit of a comment on how people were becoming obsessed and addicted to like the internet and certain things too, and that kind of was into how Jeff Bridges' character decided he was just going to be living in a fucking machine, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot of that kind of stuff in that film. No, it's much more brilliant and well done, and it did not get the praise and the attention it deserved at the time. And honestly, the only thing we got to chalk up to it not getting a third film is they bought Marvel and Star Wars, so they didn't have a need for it. Now they're getting desperate again. So yeah,
I'd look forward to a movie if out of all these crappy movies that are going to come out, if they did justice to it, I'd be open to it. Who's making this new Tron?
Jared Leto. That's the problem.
Oh, now you're reminding me. I keep blocking it out. Why did they choose him? He's like the I don't want to be mean, but he's like the kiss of death for movies.
I mean, I don't
it's
know how
Tron
much
in time.
He is involved, but I know he's like a producer, and he's the reason it's happening. I mean, let's put it that way.
He's in the movie, right? He's probably the star of it.
He's the main. I mean, I'm sure he's getting top billing.
Whoever his agent is a badass, because that guy just
motherfucking Jared Leto's got an island where he's a god. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, this dude's got a dick.
I want to.
Is Olivia Wilde going to be?
Oh, I
in
do
it?
live on an island. Never mind.
I don't know.
Olivia
I
Wilde.
want to live on an island.
I think he owns the whole island.
Oh. Well, I don't own the whole island.
Have you seen these things? He like walks around like Jesus and shit, and literally like white robes and crap, and these people follow him around and shit.
Can we agree that Olivia Wilde looked really good in Tron Legacy?
Olivia Wilde looks probably good in a paper sack, my friend. Yeah. I will admit that.
Yeah, I mean, she managed to marry a prince for a short time until he divorced her.
Yeah, until he divorced her.
Skinny though.
He did? What prince? I actually have met her in person, and she looks nice in person too.
Yeah, and yeah, Leto's playing Ares, and we know nothing about the character at this point unless you.
Really just to clarify, it's not that like we met and like I'm her best friend, meaning I was somewhere, she was there.
You have met just about everybody at some point. You're like Robert Meyer Burnett.
something like that. But yeah, I was standing and she was standing like in proximity to me. And
That's what you say every time.
well, that's usually the situation. I mean, I can't really describe it any other way. All I'll say is that I usually don't want pictures with people. I don't care. Sometimes I do, but a lot of times I don't. But in her case, it would have been nice, but it just was difficult to logistically pull off. So I didn't get a picture with her.
I want a picture at the price of reason. What do I gotta do?
We'll forgive you. Jason Webster says, "How about Miyagi and Big Trouble in Little China cross entitled Miyagi Little Trouble in Big Tokyo?" I'd watch that back in the day.
That actually sounds like a fun time.
It would explain some of his mystic powers too. That's the one thing they still haven't even remotely tried to touch too much. I think they made one joke on it one time with Daniel going like, "All right, let's do this, something or whatever," and then he just moves on or whatever.
Yeah, it's a good joke.
Yeah, but otherwise, it's like that's the one time, the one little thing that they have in the original Karate Kid that is really just a magic moment, right? It's like it's not real. It's not even based on any real. I mean, I guess you could say there's maybe some muscle massages that could do certain things, but like the way the movie works, it's like that's the magic moment, the touch that fixes his leg, and he goes in and he manages to win, and all that shit. Yeah, it's just chi.
To be fair, Tom, I just want to say something. You're the only person out of all the people online that I was once at an event, and I actually took pictures while I was there and gave you like a live documentation.
No, I'm not going to say what you do. I don't really know exactly what you do, but I'll just say this much. Price has proved to me that he must work in some area or know enough people in certain areas that he does what he's told me he kind of does, that I believe him. He's sent me pictures of stuff and him schmoozing with the
pictures of stuff, eh?
Yeah, like some Diddy parties.
Right.
Oh, wait. So Price is a baby oil salesman?
Yes.
Oh.
How do you think he got rich? Why do you think he's here now?
What I was going to say is that I actually used to be invited to a whole lot more of those. Now, like, I feel like I'm not on the naughty list or something.
Maybe they figured out who you are.
Yeah, like now I'm like blacklisted.
Now it doesn't matter so much. Script would probably come out now and they wouldn't care, but back then, yeah.
Oh, no one in LA realized who I was that I met with, which is good.
Not yet, anyway. But I think it's getting to the point where that's not. I've been hearing I'm sure you've been hearing stories or your own experience where it's like, it seems things are kind of changing a little bit.
Well, yeah, no, I definitely learned this past week that the stuff I've been hearing about LA, I've seen it in firsthand, and it's going in a really good direction, I would say.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And we got a story coming up that's kind of related to, I don't know, you guys are going to have to fill me in on this because Script actually brought it to my attention and somebody asked about it in the chat earlier, and we should have just enough time to cover it when we get through these super chats first, though. DCB Titan says, what the fuck? They're remaking Naked Gun. Yeah, it's already done. It was shot in the can. I think, was it last year or late this year or something like that?
They finished it. I think they finished production right before the actor strike. So it's been in post for the last year.
I think they're waiting until this next year because it'll be the anniversary, I think, of the first film, won't it? What year did the first film come out?
When was the first? The first one came out in like 88, I think.
Was it 88? Oh, okay. I was thinking 90 for some reason. Maybe that was when the sequel came out.
Yeah, 1988 was the first one. So I don't know.
Oh, okay. Never mind. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're waiting for. Wasn't Liam Neeson saying something about retiring though?
He's been retiring for the last 10 years.
Dude, he is the Brett Favre of Hollywood. He's always retiring.
he said he was going to retire after his wife died on that ski accident.
Right.
Then what ended up happening is that he couldn't dwell on things, so he ended up started doing every project he could just to keep himself distracted from the grief. So
yeah. I just I swear I remember him saying that again anyway, but yeah. And yeah, they did already remake it, DCB Titan. I hate to break your heart. And I finally saw the film for the first time here not too long ago. So, yeah. Joe Pat 87 says, been hearing about Warner Brother Discovery's plans to spin off their cable networks. Can you verify, validate, including how this connects to their supposed split? I don't know the all ins and outs of this. I don't know if Mikey's been keeping up with this much or Script. I do know that we've talked a little bit about it to where I feel like what they're doing now is part of them trying to shave off some of the things that are probably costing them more money than they're actually making it easier for a sale at some point. because there's also some rumors going around about them buying some things, which would mean they might have to sell some things. Because there's still a plausibility, like Script and I have discussed, like this, kind of like, possible way that, Warner Brothers could end up with part of Paramount.
CBS.
CBS is part of Paramount. Yeah.
Yes. So
and that could still be a possibility.
It probably could be. The one thing that I learned from one of my meetings is that the rumors of another studio wanting to buy Warner Brothers Discovery or that Zaslav wants to sell are BS.
That's
like
what
I
I've
learned
been hearing
it firsthand. It's like they're not selling. There's no plans to do so anyway, unless some sort of offer comes around, which they say it's too good to pass up. It's not going to happen. But the Warner Brothers doesn't have their own network, and with Skydance kind of owning Paramount and I guess thusly CBS, and Skydance not really interested much in CBS, could be something that's on sale in the near future, and I'm pretty sure that's Warner Brothers Discovery wants it.
Yeah, I don't see them doing that. I mean, I can see them doing things to shed some money, to save some. What's this? Mikey.
Oh, come
That's
on.
not very nice.
No, but it's accurate.
It's true. It's true.
It's true though.
It's not just accurate. Oh, it's true.
He's not
Second
even
of all,
here.
I'm not
We're
that-
picking on him.
Wait, is that what my face looks like? I thought I lost some weight.
No, that's your
Whoa.
older face. I was gonna
That
say,
was-
that's
I
chubby
was gonna
Mike.
say that was the age of face fat Mexican Iron Man. Now you're just.
You need to send
Mexican
out some
Iron
newer
Man.
pictures so people have sexy, sleek Mike. Mike
How
2.0.
about people stop doing memes of me? Let's try
So
that.
is it Mexican? Are you Mexican
Good
Iron
luck.
Man Mach 2 now or Mach 3?
No, I'm now Mach 47.
Mach 47.
That was a good
Uh,
armor, actually. So
Yep, that's one of my favorite suits, the 47.
Sweet. And then Joe Pat says Fokker's voice for Schadenfreude. You know what sucks is I wish Robert De Niro wasn't such a dumbass. I really used to like him a lot. And those Fokker movies I used to adore. Like I was one of those people who was like, you know what? They actually got better as they went along.
What?
No.
Yeah, I actually like the third one more than the first two.
The third one was the
What?
most
Nah.
Fucking
annoying
Dustin.
one.
I'm sorry, Dustin Hoffman is one of my favorites. I will watch Dustin
like
Hoffman
Dustin
read a
Hoffman.
fucking phone book.
Okay, Dustin Hoffman in the second movie's fine, but the second
Right.
movie overall is a big step
Or
down.
the
from
second one
first
maybe I
movie.
liked better. That was
The
what it was.
second
I don't
one was
remember,
maybe
but
better
yeah.
than the first, and the third had
That's the one
Jessica
I liked,
Alba. The third had Jessica Alba, who was very hot in it, but that's the only thing I can say that's
Okay,
good
you're right.
about
The
that one.
third one I don't like as much. I forgot because it's the third one is where they actually have kids, right?
No, and the third one there was another issue. Initially, I think that Dustin Hoffman wasn't in it, and then what happened
Oh, that's
was
right. You're right. Yes. Okay.
they ended up like paying him to show up at last minute, and then his scenes are just kind of pasted in there.
You're right.
awkwardly.
Okay, so it's the second one I'm thinking of. You're right. Yep.
Why couldn't he show up for the original? That was so weird. Why did they ruin that movie?
I don't know. He probably didn't want to see Dustin Hoffman. I don't know. Has he ever done a sequel before?
Not that I can think of. He's an actor's actor, which like he needs.
That's what I was
likes
just gonna
to
say.
do
He probably
stuff.
didn't want to do a sequel. That's why. Yeah.
Yeah, he likes to do different things all the time.
At the end, they paid him, and he came.
Well, yeah, that's probably where they made him an offer he couldn't refuse. It's probably more money than he ever made in his life at that point. That's when you usually got to get those kind of situations. Because no, I'm sorry, Dustin Hoffman's one of my favorites. Like I'll watch him do anything. But I forgot. Yeah, you're right. The third one I've only seen once. Yeah. Okay. All right. You know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of the American Pies. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, and Gene Levy and all those. Yeah.
Yeah, because they did kind of get a little bit better as the series went. But then I rewatched them, and the first film's the only one that really holds up. The fourth one's okay, but
Yeah. Well,
2 and
American
3
Wedding was
are
like the
fell
weakest.
off, yeah.
American Reunion, I think, was the better of them.
I
That's
agree.
what
See,
Chris
now
Pine
back
comes
when it
back.
first came out, I loved part 2. But
Yeah.
now just recently watched them like a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, yeah,
I've
they're
never
still
been
good,
impressed
but-
with those movies. I think they're kind of crappy.
The first one I will hold a stick up for, because I remember when that movie came out, because I remember reading that
Stick of
script about
crap.
2 years before it came out. That was a little movie that was made for nothing. And like Eugene Levy was like doing it as a favor, and it was like, you know,
Crappy.
did I see it before it came out, or did I see, because I remember seeing an extended, like, uncut version of it. Anyway, like that was just a little indie movie that ended up becoming this big fucking movie, and it was a movie I remember showing a bunch of people that movie. It was like, you know, because I was like, that was when I was getting into like all the indie stuff like Clerks and all that shit. So like, and that kind of came up through the indie ranks, and then all of a sudden it was a big blockbuster hit. It was our Porky's. You can say what you want, Price, but it was our Porky's. I don't care. Anyway, Jason Webster says, I am looking forward to the K-horror Dark Nuns Way. Never heard of this one, of course. Way more than the majority of the films on the list. And I can imagine, because that list sucked. So there you go. K-horror Dark. Although he means K-horror like Korean horror. It's cool. So it's called Dark. So people know what I'm talking about.
Dark.
Here's one for Mikey. Green Raptor sends in $2. Says, don't worry, Mexican Iron Man. I enjoyed The Accountant too.
Raptor, I just want to thank you and appreciate your taste in movies. You, sir, are a scholar.
Let me double check. I don't know if I have. I don't think I have it.
I own multiple copies of The Accountant.
I mean, honestly, Mike, I'm surprised if I don't, but I probably don't.
But you've never sent it to me, so that tells me you don't own it.
No, that just means I haven't bought.
It doesn't matter because I own multiple copies of it.
It just means I haven't bought a newer version of it. That's all.
Do you feel compelled to buy a copy every time you see it?
Who?
You.
I have.
Okay.
So you're like Mel Gibson.
Huh? Do you have flashbacks to being tied to a dental chair and Patrick Stewart's there?
No, why? What does that have to do with anything?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Jesus.
What movie?
Conspiracy Theory. Mel Gibson, Sandra Bullock, I think it is, and
I remember that vaguely.
No, it was just Julie Roberts.
Julie Roberts.
Julie Roberts. Sorry, Julie Roberts.
Maybe I don't remember that at all.
That's a good one.
I got rewatch it. I remember liking it, but it's been, God, we're talking 20, 25 years since I've seen it.
I think that's one that I don't have. Well, see, that's the problem with Mel Gibson movies is they were really kind of sporadic on the ones they would release on Blu-ray and shit after his whole incident.
Yeah, I got my copy somewhere.
I said, yeah, it was on DVD. It was one of the first DVDs, actually.
Yeah, it was an early DVD release, yeah.
Yep. Because that movie was pretty new when DVD came out. Gonzalo Bergali's in the house for 33 months. Wow. Patrick Robinson says, would be interested to hear your thoughts on the film remake of Murder, She Wrote with Jamie Lee Curtis. What?
What?
Did they already redo the show?
Jamie Lee Curtis is supposedly going to be the Jessica Fletcher in the movie of this. Which is weird.
I don't hate the idea per se of her in that role, but a movie?
Is she going to be having a British accent or something?
No.
It's not like she couldn't do it, but
Columba. No.
Well, I mean, Angela Lansbury didn't have a British accent, did she? Or was it just?
But she had like kind of a highfalutin dialect.
Like a higher. What would you call it? Like that.
Like a snooty way of talking. Yeah.
I mean, I guess if it's not played up like a comedy, I just worry that Jamie Lee Curtis with like everything everywhere all at once.
Didn't we just get a Murder, She Wrote reboot TV show script? Help me out here.
No, we got a Matlock with Kathy.
I thought there was
no. There was something with Octavia Spencer.
I was going to say no. There was a Murder, She Wrote show. I thought too.
I don't know if they ever did it. They were talking about doing Octavia Spencer and Murder, She Wrote, but I don't know what happened to it.
Maybe it never got off the ground. Huh?
I thought there was a Murder, She Wrote reboot that was going to be like a young adult, like teenage girl as a sort of an Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, I remember something like that. Now that you mention that part.
Yeah, or maybe I'm getting my reboots mixed up at this point. I don't know.
Huh. You know, I hate to say if they were actually doing it as a TV show, this wouldn't be the worst casting.
No, I agree with that.
I mean, you got somebody with some gravitas. People know she's of the right age. She's
she
somebody
also
who
can act, which is
nice.
nice.
I mean, and in something like this, she's got a sense of humor.
Yeah, but it's really going to come down to the writing because the fun of Murder, She Wrote was I watched it with my mom when I was a kid, and it was just like you could actually solve the mystery yourself by the end of the thing before Angela Lansbury made her big conclusion if you paid attention to all the clues. Unlike Matlock, which always had like a last minute. Oh, by the way, I found this piece of evidence off screen. You know.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of Columbo. It's like Columbo's like, oh yeah, there was one more thing.
Yeah, could they even try? They would never try to reboot Columbo, would they?
No, they don't. The creators of it, I don't think have. I think the license is still within the family estate, so they don't want to do it.
Gotcha.
There was a very brief period of time around when Zodiac came out that they were entertaining the idea of Mark Ruffalo playing Columbo.
Oh Lord,
and
I could see it. I could see them trying that. Yeah, okay.
And luckily, that never went anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so bad. Oh, that'd be so bad. Thank goodness. Just watch old Columbo episodes. They're fine.
Oh yeah, he's got 9 seasons of television between NBC and I think ABC, or is it CBS and ABC? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I know ABC did the last leg of it.
Yeah, ABC did the movie Mystery of the Week or whatever.
Oh, I guess Angela Lansbury was born British. Huh. Okay.
Well, yeah, she was British.
Like, she does kind of have a slight accent, I guess, but it's just...
Well, she was in Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just trying to think, like, when she was playing Jessica, what's-her-face on the show,
Fletcher.
Fletcher, I don't remember her having, like, a straight-up British accent, per se.
It's a little watered down
posh,
at that point.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
She does have, like, a posh accent, but not...
Yeah,
like,
it's not like it's not like really heavy Cockney or something, but, she has a very upper-class, posh, quasi New England accent, if you want to call it that. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Huh, okay. Robert wants to know if you got his email about my film. Robert asks Mike.
I don't know because I haven't been checking my personal email. If he means this one step ahead, is that this Robert James? Is that
I believe
Robert?
so, yes. It's supposed to be a film noir, if I remember correctly.
Oh, is it? Yeah. It's cute. Obviously, it's queued up here, ready to go, and I just haven't watched it yet. But
Mikey has been busy as hell. In fact, there was the one day I needed a co-pilot, and that was one of the few times Mikey was not
how often
around.
have I ever told you no?
No, yeah, like you'll move shit around if Andre's not there. It's like if I'm like, hey Mike, you coming on? You're like, well, why? What's up? And you're just like, oh no, I just want you. Like, no, I'm busy. But I'm like, oh, I need you stat because Andre's not here. Usually Mike's boom, right
On the way.
Yeah, and he'll drop whatever. So
yeah, but Robert, I will check it out. It's on my queue list. Here's the deal. I'm going to watch it with my mom because she's the one who saw the Tom Conkle ones with me.
Davina, I'm going to tell you a secret.
What?
It's always tax season.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
He has 2 days.
I
2
run a
literal
business
days
for him.
of the year.
I'm not H&R Latino block. I run around like you're.
He gets like a weekend between the change of the season. It's like tax season 1 to tax season 2, and that's it.
My busiest tax deadline is March 15th. The second biggest one is October 15th. The third biggest one is September 15th. The fourth biggest one is April 15th, and the fifth biggest one is what's the one I do in the summer? The nonprofits. When is that?
I can't remember, but it usually seems like you have this cycle. Like you'll have like a few days or a week or so where you obviously you just finished one season and you're leading into another where things are just starting to pick up, and then you'll be more and more busy, and then you're like completely unavailable, and then you'll come back around. It's like a cycle, and I know it's like a 2-3 month cycle. Yeah.
And then you get sick of me, and no one watches.
We never get fucking sick of you. Knock it off.
And then no one watches the accountant, and I have nothing to talk about.
I will watch.
I watched it
for you.
Yeah, but I want someone to watch it who actually likes it.
I said I liked it. I was very.
Oh
nice
my gosh!
I like Ben Affleck. Look, chill out.
Scribe forgot how emotionally needy.
Let's talk a little bit about Marvel and then Marvel and Sony because you're gonna have to explain what's going on here. So, Marvel executive Nate Moore left.
Wait, what happened?
Well, I'm gonna put it to you this way. Technically speaking, with this article, the subtext is that Nate Moore was technically fired.
Fired. Okay.
He was very woke.
So time out.
He is transitioning into producing, which he's already been a producer. He was brought on board with Captain America: The Winter Soldier. He has been with Marvel ever since then. His last movie is going to be Captain America: Brave New World. And given how well that's been performing in test ratings, it seems like he is going to be one of the heads that's rolling over at Marvel Studios. Obviously,
so they're setting him up to be killed. Yeah,
it's going to be an amicable way. The other part too is that everyone at Marvel is definitely going to speak highly of him as he starts to form his own production company and get deals. So he's got that going for him. It's not going to be like a cut and run type of thing like they did with Victoria Alonso because she is persona non grata. So yeah, this one here is just, it's kind of a low tier thing, but it's also kind of reinforcing the fact that, Marvel is switching gears. You're going to see some other producers and other people that will make announcements in the trades that they are moving on to different things as Marvel is, entering this next phase of films.
So who is this guy real quick other than the new Captain America? What has he worked on?
He worked on every single Marvel movie between Winter Soldier and this one.
Okay.
So is this So Script? I don't know if you know this or not, but was this something like this and the other departures? Are those a long time in coming, or is it somehow attached to the oncoming change in leadership of Iger getting out and all that?
Well, for the way that I see it, is that he he has been around for. So let me make sure I got this right, because I do know he's a co-producer on 6 Marvel films, and he's been a producer or a production assistant on everything else in between. So I know he's done Captain America: Winter Soldier. I know he's part of Civil War. He was definitely part of Black Panther. I believe he was the executive producer on Falcon and the Winter Soldier Disney Plus series.
Right.
I think he got a promotion to a proper producer credit with Eternals and with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Those are the two that he got proper producer.
I see what the
credits
script is saying is going to happen here. This guy's going to take one of the heads that is going to roll, aka take the fall for the last 10 years or so of Marvel. 5-10 years of Marvel, and he's going to set up. He probably already has it all set up already, but if it isn't, he's going to have it. And like you said, they're going to say good things about him as he's gone. So like, yeah, he's just basically he's being a sacrificial lamb, and he knows he's going to be cool because he's going to have his own production company. Yes. And he was going to probably be moving up or out anyway. It sounds like, because he's moved along through the ranks here. It sounds like the last.
Yeah, he has. So. I think he's also. I'm just quickly trying to get my IMDb to load up here, but I also think he is a producer on the Armor Wars Disney Plus series as well.
Well, that's been done for like 5 years.
So. Yeah, so I forgot all about that show.
Right now, yeah, I'm just verifying the IMDb. Yeah, so everything that he's been associated with exception of Civil War and the Winter Soldier and Black Panther, have not performed well. So the moment he kind of gets kicked up with more responsibility, we see a decline in the quality of the MCU films and projects. So he might be one of those, one of the people in that group that was brought in that have kind of steered the ship, off the course. I'm not going to say he's the principal one. I think he's probably one of many out there. And now it seems like, usually when you see a producer like this leaving, they usually leave after a hit, and they usually leave after that movie has already debuted. And in this case here, the stuff that he's got on the docket have not released yet, and already they're announcing that he's leaving.
Well, no, I was wondering if the cleaning of house is like a precursor because of the leadership change that's happening at the top of Disney inevitably anyway, or is this just...
This has more to do with Marvel internally, because...
Just Marvel internally, okay.
So here's the thing. So Disney technically doesn't own Marvel. They just have exclusive rights to their distribution. Marvel's got a weird connection to Disney. I mean, the simplest way to say it is that, yeah, Disney has bought Marvel, but they kind of have.
Yeah,
Marvel's
you've explained this before.
Studio.
It's convoluted, but it's, yeah.
Yeah, like technically speaking, Disney has more ownership of the Fox properties that they purchased from Fox than they do of Marvel Studios.
What? That's wild.
And Marvel, because again, Marvel Studios is technically its own independent. They could buy out their own distribution contract from Disney if they so wish, but that's a lot of money, and it also it loses them a lot of access to financing and production that they would otherwise get by default with Disney. However, every studio in town would definitely hop on board to help Marvel out, because regardless of their poor box office performance for the last few movies, they're still the biggest player in town.
That's true.
So in this case here, we learned earlier this year that some activist producers have been fired from Marvel Studios. They are looking to hire some new people. I've seen some of the job postings. I may or may not have submitted some information to be a part of that, because regardless that it's under Disney, I still think there's lots I can learn about how they produce their projects, because that would be a good checklist of learn what not to do. And then this seems to be this is like their biggest announcement that Marvel has had with regards to an exec leaving since of Victoria Alonso's departure. So that's quite telling. I would say that in this case here, they're trying to, I think Marvel's going to try and do right by him anyway. Say, okay, it just didn't work out. You're not going to be here anymore, but we appreciate the work that you have done, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that you've got a better start going solo than other people that have left the studio.
Do you think this indicates a woke purge at Marvel?
I think there's a woke purge across the board, because I'm sure we'll get more into this in the morning show, but Andre just sent me over a video for it, like that win or lose thing on from Pixar.
Right.
There's the report going around right now. Here's the quote about them removing a trans storyline, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the animated content for a younger audience, we recognize that many parents would prefer to discuss certain subjects with their children on their own terms and timeline. Oh, you fucking think?
Yeah, I don't know much of it. Was the trans story, was the character in question a child?
At this point,
No, I think it was one of the mature, one of the adult characters or something.
One of the adult characters? Okay. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure where that fit in.
Yeah, but we'll probably won't know 100% for sure until someone leaks it in more detail. But for now, it's like, yep, they're removing those types of story elements. I will say this. It was kind of funny when I was going through certain parts of like Beverly Hills and I'm seeing I'm seeing some property and rent signs going up, and I'm finding out, oh yeah, really terrible screenwriters used to rent these places, and they're not here in LA anymore. Yeah. It's like they're leaving because no one's hiring them, and that's a good sign in my book.
I got one more story to get to before we get off here, and it's related to this in a way, tangentially in the very least. And that is that the big rumor going around is that Sony Pictures is seriously considering selling Spider-Man back to Marvel.
They don't have to.
They technically, they don't, but I think there's reasons behind this, and I think this is one of the reasons why Spider-Verse 3 has not budged.
Oh, you're talking about like the third, the part 2 of the third.
Yes, and when I say that is because I think that there might be a deal that's being in the works right now. Because look, it doesn't make sense for Disney to spend a bunch of money on Spider-Man when they pretty much have everything they want already, like Andre pointed out in his video and probably what Script's getting at. No, it doesn't. There's no real incentive for them to do it, except to get those other fucking characters.
Right.
And if Sony can make a good enough deal with them, because at this point, it ain't worth it for them to hang on to this, because they got to pay fees every year. And I know Tom Rothman pretty well, and he's sitting there looking at Spider-Verse going, you know what? That movie didn't make all that much. We made what, $150 million off it, maybe 200 if you count the streaming deal. Because guess what, kids? They don't get any of the toys.
No.
The only time they get any of the toys is when it's a Tom Holland Spider-Man related toy. And also that's coming out, and this is the truth too from what we thought from all along, they could have had Tom Holland Spider-Man involved with Venom and all these other fucking spin-offs the whole time.
Well, not necessarily Tom Holland, because Tom Holland's contract is with Disney.
It is, but, and this goes back to what I was saying before, the problem is the moment they do that, then that means Marvel has more say and sway over everything. Because the way the deal and the contract's set up, that's why when Script and I keep trying to tell people, is like, yes, you can say that, yes, Sony distributes, in quotations, the Sony Spider-Man films, and they pay 25 or 75% of the budget, but Marvel makes them. They're made by all the same fucking people that make all the other Marvel stuff. Yep. The only people that are not involved that are the same is the executive producers like Avi Arad and Amy Pascal. That's it.
They're those are the two additional names that are thrown in with the Spider-Man films. The other part too is that if Sony doesn't make a live action Spider-Man film within 5 years, the rights automatically go to Disney.
And they have to pay every year on that. And the only thing right now that's in production Spider-Man wise is the live action Spider-Man Noir show, because it has to be live action. And the Spider-Verse is just sitting in limbo. I'm wondering if a deal's being made that Marvel will just turn around and produce Spider-Verse 3 and give Sony a kickback off that when it comes out for a hella deal right now to just clean this whole fucking thing up. Because guess what? Tom Rothman would rather take a big fucking nice check right now and take a little check later on for Spider-Verse 3 and call it a fucking day, I bet.
Can Sony only sell, if they were going to sell it at all, could they only sell back to Marvel or Disney? Or can they sell to someone else?
I think they could sell it to somebody else if they really wanted to, but right now, this is the problem, and this is what Andre's videos, I agree with his video, but I still feel like there's a chance, because read the actual headline here. Sony Pictures is seriously considering selling Spider-Man back to Marvel. They're considering it, but at nowhere does it say that Disney is considering Marvel, is considering buying them back.
Right.
Because the script keeps pointing out there's no fucking real incentive for them to at this point.
Yeah, from Marvel's perspective, if they don't have to buy Spider-Man at all. Sony is obligated in order to have the rights to sell to anyone, they have to keep making Spider-Man type.
That's
movies.
The catch, yes.
So it's basically like if Sony's like, we're not going to make Spider-Man movies anymore, then their annual fee that they pay to maintain the license only extends up to 5 years, and then boom, it goes back to Marvel anyway. So Marvel just gets to save all that.
And to be clear,
money.
all they would be selling would be their license. So yes, what Sony could do is technically sell their license to like Paramount, I believe, right?
Right.
Script, like, something like that.
They can
That's,
sell
I'm
the
just
license
saying
to
is
Paramount.
Yeah.
The other part too is that Sony's license, they can still make money off of, say, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 toys and these Sam Raimi Spider-Verse toys because those predate Marvel Studios.
yes.
But they don't make much off of that anymore, sadly. So there's no real incentive for them to hold on to this other than box office and streaming rights, and because Marvel actually contains all the action figures.
And that's the argument where I think Tom
Rothman
Rothman is looking at this and is like, he's looking at this probably as it's more of an albatross around their neck to hang on to it than just take a nice size check, even if it is less than they ever would take for Spider-Man from Marvel, and get a back end deal on Spider-Verse 3, 4, 5, and 6, whatever fucking ones, how many they come. Because I'm going to tell you what, what is stopping these Spider-Verse movies? I fucking hate them. But guess what? They sell toys like a motherfucker. Do you realize how many toys they had for that last movie? There was an entire story about the toys making more money than the movie, and I bet you that's where Tom Rothman's going, motherfucker, why aren't we seeing that cash? Because I guarantee you that's where he's pissed, and that's why this movie they've been just piddling around going, well, it's not happening yet, because Tom Rothman's looking at the returns going, yeah, it did great. Where's the fucking toy money? Because they didn't see any of that fucking money. So the second Spider-Verse movie, what did it do? 600 at the box office, or was it
something? Yeah, 6 and change.
Yeah. So that means they probably made at the end of the day around, because they still even have to kick. That's the other thing. They still have to kick back Marvel for just the fucking rights and shit. There's other fucking license deals that go through this that they have to pay for, like just doing it.
Sony might have a 70-30 deal with. So Sony kicks.
That's just the Toby, or that's just the live action stuff. As far as Spider-Verse, Sony produced that on their own, with just Marvel as a logo, but they have to pay for still that payout that you have to pay every time you make one of these fucking movies. And then on top of it all, because there's a story, I had it somewhere, it's in the video, where basically it was Wall Street Journal pointing out that, you know what these Spider-Verse movies are? They're just basically fucking commercials and shit for fucking for Disney toys. Because they're not seeing any of this money. And it wasn't until they redid the deal after this for the Tom Holland movies that they actually get a piece of that now, and it's only a small piece.
Well, I will say this though, I don't know who postulated this rumor, but Marvel is not dumb enough to buy something that they already own.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it right now. If Sony wants to say they want to sell it, they're not selling it to Marvel.
But here's the other part of it, Script, is like you just said, there's a catch. As long as Spider-Man movies keep being made, Sony's going to hang on to that license.
Right.
Mhm.
Problem is, Marvel, for them, it means more for them to have Spider-Man alive and active in the MCU. And I could see them going, well, if we can get a sweetheart deal on this right now and just clean all this shit up. Because and Tom
Disney
Rothman
would totally
is the
buy
reason
it. If Disney, if they were offered a good deal, they would buy it. And I agree with you. What they could do is they could pay Sony a good amount of money and then just tell them, listen, for the next 10 years, you'll get 10% of all the Spider-Man merchandise.
Exactly.
That way,
you know what?
Yeah, go on.
Well, I was just going to say, you know what just happened after this last weekend?
What?
Spider-Man stock just went down like, oh God, no. I don't know. How much, Mikey, would you say that a flop like Craven would do for Spider-Man's fucking worth?
I didn't know Spider-Man had his own stock.
I mean, like not stock,
value.
stock as far as value.
Yeah, value assessment.
I'm sorry to say that
Craven thing was stupid to begin with.
Yeah, Craven's failure is not really going to impact the actual Spider-Man value. He's still very.
It does in a sense
here.
that no. Here's my point.
It's anything is hurting Sony's value in association.
Right, because it makes them look stupid that they thought they could do that.
Okay, let me rephrase this then. My point is because of all these okay, they've had what 4 or 5 fucking straight fucking flops in a row now. If you don't count the first Venom.
Yep, 5.
That is basically put down whatever they're going to ask for this shit. It has devalued it in the eyes of anybody else who's going to pick this up now because. Unless you're going to completely reboot this thing or do something else differently, the only people who can actually do anything with it is Disney and Marvel. That's my point. Because what, you're going to go buy them and then just go try and do the fucking Sinister Six world again? It's not going to fucking work.
Yeah, but nobody really cares about the ancillary characters to Spider-Man anyway in the first
$1 billion
place. So.
says that they do because fucking Venom made almost $1 billion, Scribe. I will say that.
Yeah, well, as everybody's pointed out, that's kind of a
Venom
fluke in
and
the first
Spider-Man
place.
alone, though, are worth paying. That's where I think Price is kind of seeing where I'm coming from here.
Yeah, but there's nothing that says that Marvel can't use Venom at this point, right?
They can't actually. No.
No. So yeah, because this is where the things get into the minutiae.
This is
So
where things get. Yeah.
Here's the funny
okay.
thing. So the 3 Spider-Man MCU films, if you were, they technically do not count with regards to Sony retaining the rights to Spider-Man because those are technically basically
They're not Sony films.
they're not technically. I mean, they're Sony distribution, but they're not produced. They're not produced financially by Sony. So part of the stipulation of their licensing with Spider-Man films or Spider-Man character films is that they have to be the key producer, and then they have to be the key distributor. The deal that Marvel has made is saying we would like to basically license back Spider-Man for our MCU from you, but they don't count towards extending your license of the character to the 5-year max.
But
so
you know what does shit like. Yeah, but shit like Craven and Spider-Verse does.
Yeah, no, those are basically rights retainers. No, I get it.
Yes,
yeah, I get it.
It's the rights retainers. Craven has now extended the Spider-Man rights for Sony to 2029.
Okay.
And even if we do say, for instance, like Avengers Doomsday, or Secret Wars, which is supposed to feature Tom Holland Spider-Man, Sony cannot use that as a means to extend their license further.
Right.
No,
yeah,
but you're coming back around to my original point. It would make more sense then to hold off on Spider-Verse, because the longer you hold off on that and it actually starts production, physical production, that's when that time starts ticking.
Yep.
That's probably one of the reasons why they're sitting there going, and Tom Rothman's probably was waiting this time to see how fucking Madam Web and Craven were going to turn out, because I bet you he was going, this Spider-Verse stuff is doing okay, but we're not getting the kickback on it we're hoping for. So the longer they wait, regardless of what the outcome of this is, either they get to extend their Spider-Man contract by starting that movie later, or they just leave it open so Marvel can just fucking produce it themselves and they don't have to worry about it.
Does the movie have to be a live action movie to retain the rights?
Nope. As long as it's got Spider-Man in it and it's produced by Sony, or it's Spider-Man related and it's produced by Sony, as script is saying. So yes, if that makes sense to you guys, that's all it takes. But for Tom Rothman now, it is not worth trying to make another fucking Venom. It's not worth trying to make another fucking spin-off movie, because it just isn't. And
no, they just have to put out a new Spider-Man animated movie out once every 10 years and make it relatively cheap. So if that's all they have to do, why not just do that?
And that's the
instead?
only thing, because I've been sitting here going for the last 6, 7, 8 months now, going, what the fuck are you doing? Why aren't you starting this movie? I hate these fucking things, but the kids love them.
Yeah, I mean, in the last...
I'd be making 3 more Spider-Verse movies in production right fucking now. Like, what are you doing?
Well, the funny thing is that in the last 2 years, they've made 5 Spider-Man less Spider-Man movies. And when you take a look at the metric of that, that would be like 20 years of rights retention if they actually space them out. But they've concentrated them to the point where it's like, okay, we burned through a lot of ancillary characters. The audiences don't resonate with this. If they were to use a Spider-Man, oddly enough, even though Tom Holland is the character, they have to negotiate a contract with him for it, because it's a different studio. His contract is with Disney Marvel.
When he sets these contracts up, it's set up as a specific amount of movies and appearances and shit. Yeah.
Is there a weird possibility that Sony might entertain this idea that we're gonna do our own Spider-Man universe with Spider-Man in it, but we'll cast our own Spider-Man? No,
they would already done it.
Yeah, that was already entertained, and they decided not to do it.
Wow.
The time for that window has passed, and that's my whole point. Is we're getting to a point where it's making less sense for Sony to hang on to this, and it's getting to be a better deal for Disney to just say, fuck it, cut them a check, and then we don't have to deal with this shit no more.
Or start a bidding war between Paramount, Amazon, and Disney for the rights.
The problem with that is once you start doing that, it really convolutes and complicates things, and you're putting a studio is just putting themselves right back in the same fucking position that Sony's in. Because script is right. As long as Tom Holland's Spider-Man is in the MCU, unless you create a whole nother fucking Spider-Man, and that was the whole problem with this. And if anything, we got to kind of thank Amy Pascal. This is the one time we can thank Amy Pascal and possibly Avi Arad's greed, right? Because them making this the way it is, there's two reasons why they did this. One, there was always that plan to pull Spider-Man out of the MCU when this deal was over and then use that momentum to build on their own fucking little Spider-Man universe. And two, as Script is saying, as long as they make movies that don't have the Tom Holland Spider-Man in it, those count as rights retainers. So that's probably the ruling and the reasoning why those movies never had a Spider-Man in it, even though we're hearing rumors now that they could have all this time, and Spider-Verse is proof of that. Because if you actually watch those movies, it's supposed to technically be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in that movie, or at least a variant of.
Yes. Now, here's the thing. Again, as I said before, Disney has been very stupid the last 10 years. So it'd be very, very stupid for them to buy that license back because they still own it. It's basically them just paying back the licensee's license for that. All they could have to do is just keep on featuring Spider-Man in their MCU movies over the next 5 years and let Sony just kind of burn out their time with the license. And that's it. And it's the cheaper of the two options. It doesn't change the Disney Marvel's timeline because, again, they can still make, another Spider-Man trilogy that can be distributed through Sony, but not be a rights retainer. And Sony still gets their money, but they just don't have to. Disney doesn't have to fork over any extra cash to pull off the.
Right here's the ace up Tom Rothman's sleeve. Guess what? You don't get those toy sales if we don't make a Spider-Verse movie, do you?
Right.
So if you buy these rights and make the fucking movie, you get the toys. That's
I
think he's holding it hostage. That's my point I've been getting to this whole fucking time. I think he's holding this movie hostage for one reason or another, and now he's made his decision, and he's using it as a negotiation tactic to say to Disney and Marvel, just take this off my fucking shoulders. Give me a sweetheart deal right now that I can put this studio back up a little bit. It'll get a nice bump in our fucking stock, and you guys will get a nice bump in your fucking stock. Make me a deal about Spider-Verse 3 where we get some kickback. Like Script said, either whether it's 10% of the toy sales and 25% of the fucking box office for the next 3 or 4 Spider-Verse movies or whatever, because Marvel will make them. Because that was the whole point of this fucking thing. At the end of the day, they made more money off the fucking toys than the movie made in the box office, especially the first one. Because the first movie didn't make diddly shit. It was the lowest grossing Spider-Man movie. And those movies are not cheap compared to most other animated films. I think they spent $120 or something like that on the first one. I think a little bit more than that on the second one. I can't remember. It's in that range. But I know you got to go, Scribe, so I'm going to let you have a final thought before you run. Yeah, no, I went over your time. That's why I was
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I contributed to my overtime. So I got to go, guys. But I have a show, or at least a couple, but at least one in particular on Thursdays called TED Excellence at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. I've had one or two of these guys on there as guests for one of those. And we look at TED or TEDx talks of different subject matter that usually have nothing to do with comic books or movie stuff or anything. So it'd be a change of pace. There's also bingo we go over so we can practice our critical thinking skills and observation skills. Yeah, I know. Ooh. But outside of that, guys, thanks for having me on today. I'll probably be on Midnight's Edge in the morning tomorrow if schedules align.
I'll be short Andre, but I know Chris is supposed to be there, and I don't know if Mikey will make it, but it'd be nice to have you there and Script.
Cool.
You can make it.
All right. Well, everybody, have a good rest of your evening.
I think I can make it tomorrow.
Sorry.
Tomorrow, I think tomorrow I'm downtown, so sadly I won't be able to make it, which sucks because I would like to talk more about it.
All right. Well, good night, everybody, and chat. Have a good evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
You too. All right. Well, we're going to be wrapping up here soon ourselves anyway, but yeah, no, this is my point. This is where I think it makes a sense a little bit for Disney's like, okay, yeah, we're going to be paying out the butt right now for Spider-Man, and it makes no sense for us to do it, but if he's going to hold that hostage, fuck it, why not? And then this cleans everything up, and it'll be a better deal than they would have got had he actually been trying to, wheel and deal with them. That's my point, is they'll take less now than they would have 5 years ago for Spider-Man. And Marvel's the only one they'll be able to make a deal with, because it doesn't make any sense for anybody else to pay the amount of money they'd want for Spider-Man for them to just have to deal with the same things they're dealing with.
Well, there's that option. I mean, the other option would be basically saying let's say Tom Rothman is definitely holding that hostage for the toy sales. I think that's a very plausible idea.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Sony does pay their annual fee to retain the license of Spider-Man, excluding the films, to Disney. So Disney can do a trade-off saying, okay, this is how we'll do it. We'll give you 10% of toys for Spider-Verse 2, and you have to basically release your license to us, which means you don't pay us anymore for the rest of this year and that year that Spider-Man 2 comes out, and now we own Spider-Man outright, and you don't get it anymore, which means Disney doesn't pay anything additional. They just basically trade off a certain percentage of the toy sales for that Spider-Verse movie and basically do a done walk away.
Wasn't that kind of something they did with Universal in a way too?
With regards
something
to the Hulk?
like that. Yeah, I think it was something along those lines. Yeah.
Basically, what they said is that, again, Universal, the only way had a similar deal. The only way they could hold on to the Hulk license is if they actually made a Hulk movie. And Disney said, okay, well, guess what? Go make a Hulk movie. And Universal couldn't put one together. They also couldn't negotiate a deal with Marvel to do so. And that's why there hasn't been any Hulk movies or any MCU Hulk movies prior to the post the Edward Norton one. And guess what? Technically speaking, now I think Marvel officially has the rights to the Hulk.
I think they have everything back now. But like that was the deal at the time. Like they made a deal with Universal that like, yeah, it was like they still technically the only time they had to pay Universal out is if it had Hulk in the title.
Right.
That was it. Yeah. So
exactly, because basically what ended up happening is Marvel just waited it out. And I don't see them not doing the same thing with Spider-Man, or at least doing a deal that requires Marvel to pay less out in order to retain something that they already own. Because again, as I said, it's very stupid to pay someone to buy back something that you already own. Like if I'm going to be licensing something to Mike, like a car, I'm going to lend him a car and he's going to pay me a lease on it a monthly. I would be stupid to pay him for that lease back.
I know. Yeah. Basically at this point, they're like leasing themselves like, you know, how a big company does that. Yeah. And I get that. But at the same time, I can still see where it's just going to come to a head at the road where it's just like, this is all they really got right now. Disney's in the more, like both places are in such a vulnerable place right now that I don't really foresee any other real option for either one of them to get out of the place that they're in. And Tom Rothman, I'm sure, would gladly make a hella deal with them. Because he does not want to have to deal with this shit.
Well, the only thing that's giving him stress is the fact that his Spider-Verse is not yielding the profits he wants. Because everything else that Sony is doing, they're fine financially, as far as I can tell, compared to all the other studios. They're sitting. And
that's what I was saying about. Look at Garfield from last year. That movie was one of the most profitable movies in years, and they've already got Garfield 2 and I think 3 in the pipeline because they were cheap to make. They only cost $30 million. It only cost $30 million to make the first one, and they I think they said they made that off of the Netflix deal. So the movie was pretty much in the black when it hit the screens.
Yep. And that's what Sony's been doing ever since they got rid of trying to invest in their own streaming service. They've basically been saying every production we do has to be in the black by the time it hits theaters.
Even I heard Renfield finally turned around and turned a little bit of a profit on video and video on demand in their streaming deals. So like Sony is one of the few, and I've said it before, Sony is one of the few studios that isn't really losing money. And them sitting on the Spider-Man deal might actually be more of an albatross at this point, with them having to pay out the license fees and everything else. And and that's where I was saying I could see Tom Rothman being the accountant that he is, Mike, looking at this whole Spider-Man deal going, it doesn't really pay for us to make one of these animated Spider-Verse movies when we're not getting the benefits. Because at the end of the day, guys, the reason why they keep making these movies and the reason they spend so much money on them is because of the fucking toy sales. That's what made Star Wars what it was. Sure, it did great at the box office, but you go listen to any George Lucas fucking interview and he'll tell you flat out that the money's in the fucking plastic. You sell enough of that plastic, you're going to make more money than you'll ever fucking dream of.
Yeah, the graduate quote, invest in plastics.
And he made a fucking figure.
Yep.
My figure, my fuck stick. You walked right into that one. I had to.
D-Bud says the tax season when the baby mamas knock on Mikey's door. Can he fit out the window? Oh, you could have left the last part out.
First of all, there are no baby mamas that do. First of all, baby mamas don't do taxes, let alone with me, because I do business science. And number two, there's no fucking window, DB Martin.
No more windows. No more windows.
He could probably fit 2 Mexican Iron Mans because he's so lean now.
Yeah.
So, how about that next super chat?
Yeah, we're getting there. I was just letting the moment slide. Dark Saber Force says, "Why didn't Sony pivot and rebrand the SSU into the Venomverse and center the movies around Tom Hardy and Centipede?" I mean, honestly, that's what Andre was kind of telegraphing from the start from them. They should have been doing. I mean, with the whole idea with the lethal enforcer thing, you might as well have. But it was a folly to begin with. I think the Joker and the Penguin is even kind of a like. It shouldn't even have been as good as it probably was.
I think those are anomalies. I think they are anomalies. And I say that as someone who really, really enjoyed the show. And I've always been very outspoken about how much I did enjoy the first Joker. These are anomalies. These are things that should be considered an exception, not the rule. But, of course, they don't see it that way.
Well, and I've pointed this out many times, and I'm sure Script knows where I'm going with this. We already have a bunch of villain origin movies. They're called fucking sequels. And in fact, we already had a Joker movie. It was called Batman 1989. Because that's not even a Batman movie. You get his origin story in a fucking flashback.
Yeah. It's only one beat of the origin story.
Yeah. You get very little. So that's where I get kind of like, sometimes I'm like, whatever with the Batman thing. It's just because they keep showing the flashbacks. That's the only reason we've seen it so many times. If not, the 89 Batman, had they left a lot of that shit out, had the right idea. You just don't need, we already know. Okay, move on. Batman Begins, okay, you want to tell a story like that? Cool. But to me, honestly, that's one of the more boring Batman movies. I'll be honest with you. And that's why I didn't like the Batman, because it felt like it was retreading a lot of the same ground, just without the origin part of the story.
So I know someone who watched the Batman after finishing the Penguin and liking the Penguin a lot, and he said that it makes the Batman movie seem so much worse than it already was.
Imagine fucking that.
Yeah, I was just about to say, imagine that.
I mean, Tom and I both said it. The Batman by Matt Reeves is probably the worst live-action Batman film ever made.
It is. It's even worse than Batman and Robin, and I've made that fucking argument.
You
at least know Robin has
I actually like the Batman more than Batman and Robin, I think.
Hold on, say that again?
I think I like the Batman more than Batman and Robin.
I can understand people that do, but to me, that's more of a...
I forgive you, Price.
How do I put
lingering
this?
aftertaste.
Not so much that as it's a aesthetic thing and you like the paint job. Does that make sense? Because it's like underneath, that's only surface level at best. It can't be anything more than that, because I broke this movie down. Ryan Cannell's broken it down. I'm sure Script has broken it down several times. This movie is one of the most un-Batman movies there ever was. And I don't care how much detective work you say he did. He is the world's worst fucking detective in this movie.
Alfred does more work.
Not only that, I'm sitting here, I was screaming at the fucking screen. That's why I had to leave, because
not even the Riddler. He was the Zodiac killer.
I'm sitting, okay, now this is that pinnacle moment in the scene where he's like, and this is one of the few parts of the movie I actually remember well, because because somebody behind me got pissed and I knew they were going to try and get me thrown out if I didn't leave. I just went and watched it from the hallway, like the walkway of the theater part there, the rest of the movie for the last hour. Because I'm sitting here screaming at the screen going, "You fucking dumbass! He's setting you up! You idiot! Tell him! When he's sitting here going, because if you sit there and think about it, he's like keeping the whole thing from Gordon, because he's afraid Gordon will put two and two together and figure out he's Bruce Wayne, instead of just thinking it through and going, "You idiot, he's setting you up. This is not the actual bomb. There's something else going to happen, and you're not fucking seeing it because you're the world's worst fucking Batman." It just drove me nuts. I was so pissed at it.
He never even played Bruce Wayne in the movie. He was just Batman. He
was emo kid.
Yeah,
all through the movie.
He was never an actual Bruce Wayne out of the movie, because one of the things is a lot of actors can be good at playing Batman, but can they play Bruce Wayne? He was not a Bruce Wayne. Here's the thing. I was actually hopeful that he could be a Bruce Wayne, and then reality.
He wasn't a great Bruce Wayne, I'll give you that.
He was not a good Bruce
Batman
Wayne
don't
at
fucking
all.
knock. That's my final fucking say. Unless he's Adam West. He does not fucking knock.
Yeah. It was not. Ugh.
You know who I am. I'm here to see the Penguin.
Yeah, if you
and not only that and that wasn't even the worst part, because like the first scene when you see him was where I knew this movie had a problem. Because going into this movie, I said it a million times before going in. I'm like, look, I get it. Pattinson's probably going to be the worst part. Oh no, he's just one of the bad things. Actually, if anything, he's just doing whatever he was told to do.
Yeah.
The worst part is the first time we see Batman, instead of it being like every other introduction we get of Batman, usually where it's like either zip, zoom, zom, a bunch of guys just disappear and we don't know where he's coming from, or like he comes down and he's there all of a sudden like he is in the first films. You hear clomp, 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 and he comes out of the darkness and it's like, woo, there's the surprise. It's like, that's not Batman. Batman is the guy who's been sitting in the fucking corner of the room for an hour before you realize he's there. And the only reason you realize he's there because he just took out all your fucking men and you're the only one left standing. That's Batman. Sorry, I'm done. We're getting out of here. Everybody else is quiet. That means Tom, shut up. And then Kalekioki says, why did y'all mention Paramount regarding Spider-Man? I was just saying another studio.
Yeah.
Just
Paramount
it could have
also helped finance Marvel Studios to become Marvel Studios. So
not only that, there's only so many studios left that, I mean, I don't even know if Warner Brothers could legally. like that's what I'm saying. So
conflict of interest because they have the DC catalog. So it'd be Universal, Paramount are the only two studios. Maybe Amazon could probably get away with it, and Apple.
I'm doing that rant mainly just to piss Flash off, just so everybody knows. Love you, Flash. Good. Thanks for popping in the chat. But yeah, we're gonna get out of here now. So let's start with you, Nick, because I know you got to get rolling. Nick, you got Bad Santa coming up in just a few minutes.
Yes, sir. Less than 15 minutes. Toxic Tuesday. Bad Santa. 'Tis the fucking season. Come hang out with us. It's gonna be great. We're gonna talk about fuck sticks, Bernie Mac, John Ritter, and women who can't shit right for a week because of Bad Santa. So please, it's gonna be a jolly old time full of diabolic greatness. Thanks for having me. It's been good. The Spider-Man contract stuff is a mess.
It is indeed. And so check that out. It'll redirect to Nick's show. And then Price, you've got the late show tonight, correct?
Yeah, the Night Owl. It's on my second channel. Also, I have no idea. I did this. It could be that there's just no interest. I did a review for Skeleton Crew episode 3, and it's probably my worst performing video to date. It's either doesn't appear in searches or nobody cares about it. Or
I don't
both.
think anyone gives a shit.
Just so you know, it showed up in my feed, but I didn't care about Skeleton Crew, so I didn't watch it.
Yeah, Price. I think Skeleton Crew is a sign that Star Wars.
I watched your other videos, which are amazing, but I just, I hate Skeleton Crew. I've seen the first 3 episodes and I fucking hate it.
I think
I
Star Wars.
still thought I did
Star
good
Trek
reviews,
now,
but
yeah.
okay. I mean, I guess
you
I
I'll go watch
probably
it today.
You probably do have a good review. It's just you gotta look at it as even if you have a video that you feel confident in terms of a quality job, is the interest there? And it's clear that there's no interest in Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, no. The one takeaway here is nobody cares about Skeleton Crew. Star Wars is dead, and that's it.
And that answers to why nobody's watching the video. It's not your video.
No, I understand.
And
We've pretty much backed off on a lot of our Star Wars stuff,
here's the
man.
thing, Price. It's not you, it's me.
No, I get it. I understand.
Hello, is it me you're looking for? Anyway, so Script, what you got coming up? Scripts on Saturday?
Scripts on Saturdays. We're going to be reviewing the screenplay Kazan, which is just the story of Arthur Miller and Elia Kazan, who she named names to the House Committee on Un-American Activities back in the day. So it's a little bit of a based on a true story script this Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern on my channel.
Excelente. And Mike,
Right.
you gonna be on the morning show, possibly, hopefully.
I'm gonna try to. I had an appointment, but I'm gonna see if I can move.
Oh, if you got an appointment, don't sweat it.
No, fuck it. I'll go earlier. Oh, now you don't want me because I like the
Well,
account.
of course I want you, but I don't want to make
you
you
want
feel.
me. I'm gonna go do the late show with Price.
You are not.
No, fuck no. I don't stay up that late to do YouTube.
I was just gonna say, you liar. And then Jason Webster coming in hot with a 5 Australian saying the Batman was a grueling 176 minutes of dumb emo Batman. It's true. You could have stopped at dumb. What? Tom want Mike? What? Gay? Huh?
Gay.
Yeah.
He's so fucking
Gay. All right, kids, take care of
gay.
yourselves, and we will see you on the morning show for the most part of us. And the rest of us will hopefully see you again on Midnight's Edge After Dark or our respective channels. And check all these guys out if you haven't already.
I'm going live for Bad Santa right now, so come hang
Bad
out.
fucking Santa.